I do think that our chances is pretty good, but they maybe think the same.
That quarter-final fixture against Malawi will take place in Rabat on the 9th of August, with Ghana hoping to advance into the semi-finals and secure one of 4 automatic slots to play at the 2027 Women's World Cup to be staged in Brazil. Reporting for Joy Sports, Lawrence Beidu from Casablanca.
Now, Cameroon, they finished top of Group D after a 1-1 draw with Cape Verde and will now face Nigeria in the quarterfinals for a place in the semi-finals. Let's check out the highlights.
Welcome to Casablanca and to the Labi Zaouli Stadium for the finale of the group stage of the 2026 Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Into the middle it goes. Space here for Cameroon to open the scoring. Strike a goal against the post. And Bellew. And now Cape Verde can break at the other end. There's that going. Well, it cannoned off. And now it's on Gwenny in. She gets the touch, but she gets the Abega to deliver the cross. Eto into the middle it goes. They're queuing up Cameroon. Excellent opportunity and an even better goal. That is how you finish. Thumping drive. Watches on. Here's Lair for Cape Verde. Up towards Vat Morera. Nice touch away. And they're in behind. And there are blue shirted players charging into the area. Strike the goal. Oh, that is an absolute beauty from Vat Morera to bring Cape Verde level. Regain the lead. Nicely inside. It's going to fall here for Kome. Strike a goal. Again, they're trying to change that. Giving herself a fair bit of work into the middle. That's really good. And crucial touch from Lara. And then anywhere will do time at the back for Cape Verde. Played every minute of this campaign so far. Flicked on. Larissa. She's caught that in the face and she's down on the floor. Not fully cleared, but that's it. Time's up. Cape Verde in their maiden Women's Africa Cup of Nations have their very first point, and deservedly so.
Men's AFCON, the Ghana Premier League champions, Mediama SC, they will face Congolese side TP Mazembe in the preliminary round of this season's CAF Champions League. The Takwa-based side will host the first leg at the TNA Stadium on the weekend of the 4th of September. Before traveling to the Democratic Republic of Congo for the return leg the following weekend. Should they progress, Mediama will face either Tunisia's Club Africain or Mali's Joliba AC in the second preliminary round. Elsewhere, FA Cup holders as well, Nations FC could either face Niger's AS Zam or Mali's AS Real de Bamako in the second preliminary round of the CAF Champions or CAF Confederation Cup if they overcome FC Diarra in the opening round. The Kumasi-based side will begin the tie away from home with the first leg scheduled between the 4th and 6th of September before hosting the return leg a week later. Now in Europe, Brazil winger Vinicius Jr. has ended any hopes of a move to Arsenal after agreeing to a new 6-year contract with Real Madrid that will see him at the Santiago Bernabeu until 2032. Madrid have also strengthened their squad with the signing of Ivory Coast international Yan Diomande from RB Leipzig in a deal worth up to £120 million. The Spanish giants are also battling rivals Barcelona for the signature of Man City midfielder Rodri. Sky Sports has more.
Confirmed that he's extended his contract to Real Madrid until June the 30th, 2032. This is just broken on Real Madrid's Spanish Twitter. Vinny Jr. has become one of the most important players in one of the most successful periods in our history. So Of course, Arsenal wanted him, but he, as we've said over the last few days, we expect him to remain at Real Madrid, and he will remain at Real Madrid. A contract extension until 2032.
Dharmesh, does this make sense to everybody apart from Arsenal?
No, I think it makes sense to everyone, including Arsenal. Arsenal were interested in Vinicius Junior, but they knew that the only way they were going to get Vinicius Junior is if he didn't agree a new contract with Real Madrid. He is entering the final year of his contract. Gary Cottrell has been reporting throughout this transfer window, as Michael alluded to there, that Vinicius Junior was going to be at Real Madrid beyond this summer's transfer window. There was positive contract talks during the week between Vinicius Junior and the club. By all accounts, the relationship between Jose Mourinho and Vinicius Junior is a good one. They want him to be part of the long-term planning at Real Madrid under Jose Mourinho.
So, Vinny Junior stays at Real Madrid, and they've added in that position today as well, Michael.
Yeah, Jan Diamonde from RB Leipzig, a huge deal worth up to £120 million, 107 million guaranteed. We get this a lot now on the transfer show. Guaranteed, straight fee, £107 million. Now, we've spoken about him before, PSG, Liverpool, Arsenal, City. Every top club has watched this player, but he is going to Real Madrid, and we look at who Real Madrid have signed. Bernardo Silva, we know very well. Ibrahima Conte, Denzel Dumfries, and of course Marc Cucurella, we know. The most expensive African player of all time, second most expensive teenager after Mbappe going to PSG. And he had a trial at Chelsea in 2023, what might have been.
And they said, don't want him.
Well, yeah, I mean, trials can be difficult. But you see there, I mean, look at the players on show there. Mbappe, obviously now at Real Madrid, got booed a lot, didn't he, last season? We'll see how he gets on next season.
Out too, Dharmesh.
Let's make this clear, first of all, from Manchester City's perspective, they want to keep Rodri. They want to tie him down to a new contract. Now, throughout this summer, we do know the talk has been he's into the final year of his contract. Will he sign a new deal, or will Manchester City cash in the final window that they realistically can cash in? Real Madrid appeared to be the likely destination for Rodri, but now another club has come in with interest, and it's not just any club, because Real Madrid know all about this one. It's Barcelona, and Barcelona have entered the fray to try and sign Rodri. If he doesn't sign a new contract at Manchester City and then Man City decide that they are going to sell, it's thought that Barcelona have got a degree of confidence that he might choose Barcelona over Real Madrid. If you go back to the World Cup, he was a captain of that World Cup Spanish team.
So we wrap up this sports segment on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. The newspaper review segment continues right after this. Please stay.
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from alibaba.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debates championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
So, this strategy will lead. Oh no, not again.
Sir, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working.
Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered.
This is professional. Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power.
Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from undermining. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debates championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
only has one job, to keep up with you. But when your camera freezes, your messages arrive late, your video calls keeps breaking, and your battery gives up even before the day begins. Maybe your phone is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to get something better. Purchase the phone that keeps up with you during CompuGhana's Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phone festival where top brands meet best prices. From the 27th of July to the 9th of August, enjoy exciting discounts on smartphones from Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, Itel, Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, Hotwave, and Doji, plus amazing gifts. CompuGhana has the right choice for you. Visit any CompuGhana showroom or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call us on 0302-752020 or WhatsApp us on 0243-143-143. Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phones festival. Top brands, best prices. CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Missed passes and referee decisions? Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory with more because we got you.
You get it?
We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. The silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7teragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7teragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you look fresh.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead, buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
This week on the Career Trail.
I applied to KNUST, but I wasn't picked. I went to teach in class 1 and class 3 for a year. If I get to how I'm going to teach, I have to be crossing the river. They didn't really want me to do visual arts. That's a bit then.
Affects everything, your job, your home, your rights. But for many, the law feels distant, complicated, full of big words and bigger confusion, legal jargons, constitutional twists, hidden loopholes. And sometimes what seems simple is far more complex than it appears.
Even if he's a tenant, but he conducts himself as if he's the owner, he has automatically stated to you that you are no more the owner.
That's why there is the law, a program designed for you to break it all down, to explain, to clarify.
The ends of justice are that the outcome must be fair, it must be conscionable, it must be equitable, and it must be just.
The law, it's your legal lights. It's your help law. On Joy News, independent, fearless, credible.
When news breaks, there's no pause button. With fast-moving, developing stories, decisions are unfolding, and the nation is watching. This is News Desk, with a very fast and precise tone and attitude, 1 hour. The biggest stories, the clearest facts, politics, governance, security, the economy, not rumors, not speculation, but verified news.
It's clear that the people wanted to change the will of the people of Pandai, but the Supreme Court has affirmed the will of the people.
Backed by context, sharpened by analysis. Here, headlines are not enough. We go beyond the what to ask the why and the what next. Decision makers are questioned, policies are examined, and the facts are allowed to speak without fear, without favor. This is News Desk on Joy News. Independent, fearless, credible.
By midday, the day has spoken, stories have broken, events have unfolded.
We call on governments and cocoa board to pay our cocoa farmers immediately.
Now it's time to take stock. This is Joy News Today. As it happens, as it matters to you, from Accra to every region, from Parliament to the courts, our correspondents are on the beat, bringing you the latest developments, verified facts, and the context behind the headlines.
This authority is not going to be tough for the men. This authority will not affect the suffering unemployed youth.
On Joy News Today, there are no fragments of speculation, but a clear picture of where the country stands right now.
Because of Galamsey, Ghanaians voted against NPP for NDC to come and do better. But the better now, no, and
so you can stay informed, stay connected, and stay ahead. Joy News Today on Joy News. Independent, fearless, and credible.
Right, good morning once again and welcome to the AM show. We'll start the news review in a jiffy, but we'll start with the news review, the newspaper headlines just before like we did yesterday, right? By Emefa weather number, introduce the weather.
Yes. Let's see how the day is going to look so you stay informed. It's quite drizzly this morning, by the way. Yeah, it didn't drizzle in your area.
No, it didn't.
Why a Bonwo 100? The weather?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay, so I mean the conclusion is that there will be. Yeah, if you look at the conclusion of the tour, you only have a actual conclusion. America actual. Member one to the moment for them.
I don't know who them intasi. I would. Let's go. So it means.
Okay, so also partly cloudy light and then drizzly.
Okay.
But actually maybe evening time and they're expecting rains, but the rains are around 26%, 30%.
Okay.
When it is like that, it means that the possibility that you have rains.
Less.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, then let's bring you what's happening in front of the newspapers quickly before we get into matters arising. Kojo and the guests are all set. Let's start with the Daily Guide this morning. Big one in front of the Daily Guide. Democracy under attack demonstration. NPP storms Jubilee House and presents petition under protest. That's it. And the Daily Guide captured the picture of how the numbers were looking yesterday. We also brought you sights and scenes of that demonstration live, which only is yesterday. Also on the same Daily Guide, lawyers protest selective court vacation sitting. Yesterday on the midday bulletin, Kojo, Kweku Asante and I, we broke down the matters arising for these legal vacation. 2 senior lawyers protesting the continuation or the sitting or the specialized court sitting on peculiar matters, and they say that they are not showing up in court if their petition is not heeded to by the Chief Justice. So that's it. You want details is on page 3 of the Daily Guide. Then,
but what does that mean if they don't participate in the sitting?
What it means is that the people who are being investigated, the accused persons, would have to show up in court because it will continue. Yeah, because the matter will continue anyway. Do you understand?
All right.
Yeah. Okay. NDC set December 19 for national executive elections. Stories on page 6 of the Daily Guide this morning with a photo of the chairman as well, Johnson Esirin Ketia. And so, again, pictures from the demonstration yesterday. 2 sets of laws in Ghana. NPP is asking questions over there. And Mahama urges recognition of public servants. Stories on page 6. And I think this is coming from his speech he delivered yesterday at the Interfaith Memorial Service that was held at UPSA yesterday. The Daily Gist this morning, big one. I'll join NDC presidential race. Esirin Ketia drops hint on 2028 ambition. Full story is on page 3. You can grab a copy. And lawyers boycott CJ legal vacation trials. That's what we're bringing to you in front of the Daily Guide. Is on page 8 of the Daily Gist. And the Constitution Review Committee chair unhappy with government's approach. Story is on page 4. He was
on PM Express.
Yes, he was on PM Express. You can go back and watch the full interview. And NPP soaks a crowd with democracy under attack demonstration and slams Mahama over third-term agenda. Story is on page 2 of the Daily Gist this morning. And a picture of the demonstrators on the streets of Accra yesterday, bold on the Daily Gist this morning, Kojo. And Apostle Kojo suffered Thanksgiving service for Prempe Assembly Hall, Kumasi. Story is on page 3. This means that they're doing their Thanksgiving service.
Yeah, so they were able to bury the man, huh?
Sorry?
They were able to bury the man.
I know that a funeral is different from burial.
Okay.
I know that in Ghana you can have a funeral. I don't know whether the body has been buried or not. I don't know. We don't know this.
But it's a Thanksgiving.
There's a Thanksgiving. Yeah, of course. So it's happening in Kumasi. And the Free Press, Kantanka Automobile releases new brand of vehicles. Life really goes on.
Oh yeah, sure.
Life happens and then it does go on.
I'm sure the big man himself would wish that his legacy continues. So,
yeah. Okay, promoting African Caribbean partnership with Jamaica. Story is on page 4 of the Free Press. And 215. This must be pounds, because that sign keeps confusing me. Is that the euro or the pound?
Which one? Okay, let me see. This will be pounds. This will be pounds.
Okay, if it's the UK, then it's pounds. Then so 250 million pounds due through UK Ghana Gold partnership. You're interested in it? Page 3 of the Free Press this morning. And Echo currency to be launched. You were just telling me about the ECOWAS currency.
It's been long, eh?
It's been long, eh?
This is like during President Kufuor's time is when this idea of having a common currency, came off. Yeah, if my memory is not, playing gymnastics with me this morning,
it takes us back to Nkrumah. Africa gets.
Yes, Nkrumah was about the African unity. And then some time ago, we decided at least we should start from our own sub-region where we have a common currency. But, well, let's see.
Memo eco currency na dollar mohinepe.
Oh,
you don't have to answer. The news center this morning. Okay.
Major dollar.
So crowds rally against state tyranny, abuse. Petition condemns selective justice, intimidation, political persecution, attack on free speech, etc. Is on the news center. You can grab a copy. No more forgotten lessons from tragedy. President Mahama speaking at yesterday's event in the Remembrance, and the story is on page 2.
Forget about the last one.
Yes, I should forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. MTN doubles heroes of change price money to 1.8 million Ghana cedi. Story is on page 6. And Ghana's gold economy test strength of financial system, IMF, is a story that is on your desk that you'll be discussing today.
Okay.
Professor Bwedi ready to tear into those numbers for you. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Yeah, okay. So let's jump straight into the issues now and introduce to you my guests. But before I do that, let me just bring you something quickly from Professor Boateng. Now, and he is asking a question this morning, a very interesting question. He says, why do we keep financing other people's factories while our own stay quiet? Nyansa Kasa, words of wisdom, reminds us the village that celebrates another farmer's harvest while neglecting its own fields should not complain when its granary is empty. The unforgettable truth, or uncomfortable truth, is this. Industrialization is not a spectator sport. No nation has ever manufactured prosperity by importing almost everything, applauding foreign brands and hoping factories will somehow appear. Even the loudest applause has never assembled a single machine. Africa's factories will emerge only where policies remain consistent. Capital is patient, skills are developed, infrastructure is reliable, and citizens deliberately support what their own hands can produce. The deeper question this weekend is, each time we choose convenience over local capability, are we investing in Africa's future or quietly financing someone else's? The encouraging truth is this. Africa already possesses the people, the resources, the markets, and the ingenuity. What remains is a collective discipline to believe in ourselves and build what future generations will proudly inherit. Have a peaceful, soul-searching, and Nyansa-filled weekend. Stay blessed. This is by Engineer Professor Douglas Boateng. Well, remember the AM News Review is sponsored by Syntex Pipes, Pegasus Publishing, and Awake Purified Drinking Water. Now, we have Professor Isaac Body. He is Executive Director, Institute for Economic Research and Public Policy. Prof, good morning.
Good morning. Kojo.
All good?
All good.
Great.
Yourself?
I'm well.
You look good on you.
Thank you very much. Nowadays, I don't like wearing suits, but today is for a certain purpose. I had to wear it. Maxwell Ofosu-Boakye is former Municipal Chief Executive, Swami Municipal Assembly. Oh, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Kojo.
That's all good.
I'm good, and you?
I'm well.
You're looking good in your suit.
Thank you very much. I love to be in the fugu anyway. And then we have a very vociferous young man, Ivan Che Innocent, political and health policy analyst and a youth activist. Ivan, good morning.
Good morning.
All good, yeah?
By His grace.
Solid. Sure. Okay. Now, maybe we should start from the democracy under attack demonstration of yesterday. I wanted us to get into the numbers, but we'll do the numbers later. So, with democracy under attack, we have a short report that we want you to look at, and then when we finish, we'll come back to the studio and have this discussion. Stay on and watch this.
Concern over several issues, including the removal of former Chief Justice Getro Tokono and the conviction of Chairman Wontumi.
To disrespect our democracy by only nominating you to come, like I said, with great deference to you, it doesn't match it.
So it means that the government does not even take serious the grave issues before us. You are bullying, intimidating your political opponent. Why should Wuntumi be in prison? What has he done? How can a judge say that he having a lease allows somebody to do galamsey? So he's vicariously liable. So you put him in jail 20 years. You remove the Chief Justice. What did she do? Because you wanted to capture the judiciary. And today, as all judges are on vacation, the government has directed the Chief Justice to give dispensation to some judges only to try matters involving NPP activists. That is wrong. Again, Iyoko, what Iyoko is doing, they invite you, you go, they say go and bring property worth millions of cedis before you are granted bail. Very onerous bail conditions. That's also wrong. But you see, there's an election ahead of us, 2028. Unfortunately, Mr. President is not going to stand election again. This third-term agenda you guys are pursuing, has failed. It will not going to happen. It will not happen. So you're going to have your own difficulty, looking at how you have failed the people of Ghana. And you are definitely going to be in opposition. Would you be happy if such a thing happened to some of your members?
I do assure you that it is going to get to the president. And this is democracy at hand. If the NPP today has been able to come to the Flagstaff House to present their petition, then I'm saying that democracy is at its utmost. Everybody knows what today is. Today is a day of memorial for the 8 gallant youths who fell. And I'm happy that honorable leader is saying that I am a nobody. But I want to assure you that I'm a senior member of government, and this petition will directly get to the president. And they should also remember that in this country there are laws. There are laws that is put together to help us regulate our lives and our being.
Meanwhile, the Secretary of the Judicial Service, Musa Ahmed, pushed back against the NPP, insisting that the independence of the judiciary has not been compromised in any way.
Your political statements, I'll reserve that for you and the politicians. We in the court are independent, and we assure you will continue to be independent for the survival of our democracy.
The presidency is expected to respond to the petition presented by the opposition, but the protest has further heightened the political debate over the independence of state institutions and the administration of justice in the country. For Joy News, Fatal Bayaga, Accra.
All right, so that's a piece of what happened yesterday. Now, we've also been joined in the studio by Professor Titus Bayo. He's MP for the people of Lambusie and the board chair for Kolebu, teaching hospital. Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
By God's grace.
Great.
How are you too?
I'm well.
Good.
So let's start
to my colleagues.
Okay, yeah. All right. Let's start from the, demonstration we saw yesterday, and I'll start with you, our former MC. So did you achieve the purpose for which your party set out to undertake this demonstration yesterday?
Thank you very much, and good morning to everybody on this table. Kojo, the purpose was achieved. That's the more reason why you've made it a topic this morning for us to discuss. We wanted to bring it to the attention of the whole of this country that our democracy is under attack, is under threat, thanks to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Because the sort of things that are going on, we previously didn't have these things. Why should somebody's freedom be, somebody be arrested by the police just because the person is saying Dumso is back? But before I go to the merit of the issues, let me say a very big thank you to the police. Yesterday, I was where we started from the Supreme Court. They were with us throughout. Some, I'm sure, their demeanor even told us so much. Some of them are even getting tired of the way things are happening in this country. And except one or two incidents from one or two policemen, which I believe is insignificant. I wouldn't want to talk about it for now. But on the whole, if I'm to assess them, I'll give them 95 to 99%. The way they comported themselves, I mean the security, and how they shepherded the demonstrators, everybody, where we should turn, where we even had disagreements. They took their time to explain things, and later we moved on. So I'll say a big thank you to them. And then one thing that I also observed was their armor. It's just on a lighter side. I believe that you look at the muscles of the individual before they put that armor on that person, because it got to a point I thought some were really tired with that thing on.
The armor.
So I will ask Charlie, where you show the more do power no asre. You see, at least they should give it to the well-built guys and leave our ladies who don't have the muscles enough. And even some of the men were struggling to keep it on for that long distance anyway. That's just by the way. You see, we've gotten to a point as a country that, looking at how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama came back to office, he promised a reset. I remember very well the letter that he wrote to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, protesting about similar incidents. I've heard NDC, members of the NDC saying that during your days, you arrested individuals like Captain Smart, Bobi Ansa, and so on and so forth. But you see, sometimes certain comments border on national security. When it borders on national security, you cannot go scot-free. I've said time without number that if I sit here and threaten the democracy of this country and say that by Monday, if President Mahama is still at post, and I don't make sure he's removed from office through fair, the moment I say he's removed from office, election is not even due. So if you threaten him that by Monday, if he's still at post, if he's not removed from office, and the police sit there for me to get out of this studio before they arrest me, then the police is irresponsible. Because that one is a threat to national security. The fact that we have freedom of speech doesn't mean I can say whatever I want.
But isn't that what they're doing?
No, that is different.
Really?
If an individual says that Doomsor is back, does that border on national security?
But have they picked up someone like that?
Oh, of course. Have you forgotten? Doomsor is back. That gentleman from Aguna. Have you forgotten? Someone just put the president in gay colors and it cost the person his freedom. Why should that happen? We were here when Basinteli...
Why should you put me in gay colors when I'm...
No, you see, that is why the just recently, let me cite this one too. I think May this year, Ibrahim Mahama, the lawyers of Ibrahim Mahama wrote to me telling me to retract a statement I made on a sister station in Kumasi. That is civil. If I've said something, and even with that one, because of his proximity to the president, he cannot distance himself from these things that we are talking about. Because the president, we remember when he was in opposition, said if Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo doesn't steal, Bomti and his relatives will steal for him. Didn't he say that? So would I be wrong to say that it's Ibrahim Mahama who is also stealing for President Mahama? So because of this, you write to me telling me to retract it. I hope you are getting me. But if they decide to pursue that issue, that one is civil, which I have no issues with it. But if someone make a comment, fancy comedy for instance, about our gallant men who had this accident last year, which we had their commemoration yesterday, why should that cost them their freedom? Because it didn't bother our national security. Do you get the angle I'm coming from?
That you talked about the gallant man who died.
Yes, yes.
And then he was picked
up.
What did he say?
These are issues that I don't want to glorify. You know why? I've decided not to repeat some of these things. And what we are protesting against is not because we support insult. If someone denigrates you, I will not support that. But that is not a reason to say that the person has to be arrested by the police or put behind bars or be on remand. These are misdemeanors. And an individual who feels that his reputation has been damaged has the right to go to court. The president cannot be sued. So what makes you think that the state can come behind the curtain and arrest me because I've insulted the president? If he cannot be sued, he can also not sue me.
Really? Is that a position?
That is how it's supposed to be. No. If I cannot sue you, what makes you think you can sue me?
But is that a position of the law?
That is how it's supposed to be.
That's no. You say that.
Wait. The president, if even he can sue, I'm putting it. I'm a layman. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. That's why I'm putting it this way. My understanding is that if I can sue, you can sue. If I cannot sue you, you have no liberties to sue me. But if that is not even correct, the point is, if I go at the president and it's just a mere insult. Yes, his office, he's a revered member of society. I will never support anybody who raises insult on the president. But if even it happens, it is the president between that individual, not the state between that individual. That is how issues should be handled. But we've gotten to a stage where it's more of the things that they did yesterday, the insults that they rained on Akufo-Addo, a whole tribe being labeled as Sakawa mafias. Even the president himself engaged in that enterprise. And yet, nobody raised a finger at them. Having Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia coming out with a painting, having him a Muslim holding the head of let's say a pork, not a pig, but let's say holding a pork with, is it whiskey? Creating this image. Nobody laid a finger at any of them. But just recently, someone just coming out with a drawing of the president in gay colors cost the person his freedom. Recently, because they wanted to engage in the politics of equalization, and thanks to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, an NDC guy who rained insult on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they arrested him. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia told the police that it's none of your business. The person, is better to have the person speak and insult. We are not encouraging insult than to guard the citizens of this country. So he asked the police to release him. It is his matter. It's not the police matter. Why should you go and arrest the gentleman? So this is what we are talking of, and it's in two folds. The first fold is what I'm talking about, free speech. The stifling of free speech. The second one has to do with the injustice, the selective justice in the system.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
The selective justice in... Are you trying to end me?
Yes.
Just give me 10 seconds.
Okay. All right means I wrap up, so I
want to talk about it. It's a selective justice in the system. We were in this country when a whole judiciary was labeled. A promise was made that the Chief Justice will remove from office come what may. They came to office and they've managed through the rules and processes of this country to prosecute that agenda. Now, we have, just as we have some NDC members. Dr. Opuni, where is he now? What has happened to his case? Thanks to the revered Attorney General, and only prosecutor has freed the gentleman.
How is that related to this?
We are talking of selective justice. I'm linking it to one or two issues. Okay. You have Dr. Akufo-Addo for what has happened to his case. Honorable Collins Dauda, the Sagleme, about $200 million issue. Why didn't they allow the cause to see to the conclusion of the case? Why would the Attorney General hurriedly enter into a nollie prosecutor to free this gentleman? But when it comes to your political opponents, as we speak, Hanan and Dubuahin, the courts are going on vacation, and yet for whatever reason, the Chief Justice have given some cause special dispensation to carry on with those two cases. Kojo, in your mind, does it look good for you? Isn't it the means or the government going after its political opponents? Is the optic okay for us?
Okay.
Should the tables turn tomorrow? These very issues that I'm raising, will NDC be okay with it?
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Let me bring in Ivan. Ivan, so you are a young person.
Yeah. You
watched the demonstration yesterday. From where you sit, how do you describe the democracy now? Is it under attack for you, or you think, well?
Good morning to you and to our cherished viewers. I'm not sure democracy is really under attack. Been speculated. But for demonstration, I'm not sure you can fault anybody, because in democracy, protestation demonstrations are legitimate democratic tools any dissatisfied individual can just employ to air your whatever dissatisfaction that you have. Even at a time when the state sought to neutralize this constitutional guarantee through the NPP versus the IGP, I think the Supreme Court reaffirmed this constitutional guarantee that any individual within the state has that particular right to ensure that whenever you are dissatisfied with the state of play, you can demonstrate. So when you talk about demonstration in our current dispensation, it is not a matter of constitutional validity, but it is a matter of course of action, whether it can be rationalized within a reasonable context. For me, that is the position that I have. So from where I sit, I have always maintained, and I will quote Kwaku Baako any day, I will choose the ugly noises over culture of silence, because in a democracy, the differences in our opinion lies the fiber that is required to nurture and grow our democracy. So at any point in time, I will encourage the young people, everybody will be part of this conversation, because that has always been my advocacy. I want young people to be part of this whole political conversation, because we cannot bequeath our future in the hands of people who will be living tomorrow to decide the future for us. Young people need to take a greater part of this whole conversation. But you see, when we talk about all these things, it is also a matter of credibility of the actors in question. I remember very well, about a few years ago, there were a series of cascading criminal events happening in this particular country, which some of us sought to complain about. That, for instance, if you look at the attack on some of the gentlemen, there was a gentleman called Kaka. We remember the circumstances which led to his death. These were some of the concerns some of us had about democracy then. We complained, but we were labeled Sambalat. At some point in time, they said we were anti-government enthusiasts. We were just enemies of state, you understand? But so if the actors, under those circumstances today, turn around to complain about certain things, then the question is a matter of credibility. Because this whole demonstration thing is to push sensitive issues to the forefront of public debate. It's not for you, it's not for the NPP, but it's for the Ghanaian people to accept that indeed you have a reasonable course of action, and we will help you to propagate this particular matter. But the question is that you will fail to realize there was a problem when these things were happening. For instance, Gregory Afoko was kept in prison custody when even the court gave the green light for him to be removed. He was kept there for almost 7 good years. Was democracy under attack? This individual, nobody saw that there was the need to intervene at that point in time. It got to a time journalists were being hounded. My brother made mention of, I was in the studio with Captain Smart when national security bumped into the studio and he was whipped away. Democracy wasn't under attack. So those of us who complain about those circumstances, then we may have every right today to complain if there is a problem. You understand? And if I'm to...
But in the same vein,
okay,
those who criticize then,
yes,
do they have the right to today support those actions?
That's what he said. They only interrogated
those
and left him.
Who criticized the actions then?
Yes.
Do they have the right to support it today?
Yeah.
I'm asking that because you are not...
Yes, but I think the magnitude of this whole complaint is more of an partisan emotional speculations, because I don't think democracy under the current dispensation is under attack. Because yesterday they were able to walk free to the Jubilee House in a country where the state is being accused of like a certain climate of tertiary has been activated. You cannot walk to the Jubilee House in the midst of police being protected and then present a petition. You understand? So for me, the NPP, the angle they are coming from, you can understand, because when you're in opposition, some of these things are things that you can easily complain as an opposition party. But sometimes it's not just about you. You need to situate your grievances within the context where the ordinary person can reason with you. Because that is the only way people can find substance in that kind of argument. But if we beyond the political fold, nobody can rationalize whatever your complaints are, then I think it becomes a problem. For instance, they are complaining about the Sadinam issue. I was on your platform and I mentioned that whoever hears this whole Akweta thing within the political context will get angry, because even if you look at the environment we find ourselves. But on the other side, if you go pick the judgment and read, no person of sound judgment will read that particular ruling and come back to the same conclusion or the same kind of idea as before. It means that something actually went wrong. And today, if people are demonstrating because Sadinam has been acquitted by a high court and the NPP has made a press conference and promised the people of this country they are going to do everything possible to back Dr. Bawumia in his ongoing trial. So at the end of the day, if the high court, his ongoing appeal, the appeal that is about to be filed, no, I'm referring to Wuntumi. Wuntumi's appeal. So let's say in the next month or few months to come, if he gets acquitted, are they going to demonstrate on that? You understand? So we need to establish certain principles, the way and manner we do our politics. And if you go to the social space, for instance, if you go back to 1990, nobody will be complaining about social media. But where we are, the social space has become increasingly available, a platform we used to do politics, and it is even larger than the traditional media we know. So this particular space cannot be left unregulated. A lot of people do a lot of stuff on social media, but how many of them have been arrested? Unless you prohibit or you do anything that contravenes the established rules of engagement. Once you do that, the security will come after you. And it is not in my brother's place to determine what constitutes national security threat or not. The security apparatus have that particular mechanism.
But isn't the law about your utterance causing, having the potential of causing chaos amongst the public? That isn't that the basis on which then we can say you've engaged in I've forgotten, but you've engaged in probably a potential criminal activity, and therefore you have to pick up.
So who does that assessment? Is the security?
Yes, but the question a lot of I read from some lawyers who were asking was, for example, the person who said that. How does that? Again, the lady was picked up for saying that the government buried 32 cows or so. Yes. The question they were asking was, how does that cause chaos?
No, you see, disinformation, misinformation under the current arrangement constitute certain crimes. You understand? And for me, the gentleman who said Dumso has returned, I on several occasions condemn his arrest. You understand? Because in all these things, we can also condemn the police. But very often, the police is substituted for the government. So where the police is to be criticized for their inactions, omissions, we tend to insert the government there. That seems to neutralize the whole conversation, you understand? There are some bit of unprofessionalism on the part of our police. Sometimes the way they react, they resort to certain command. So on a good day, all of us as Ghanaians can sit down around the table and have that conversation, how we can ensure that this kind of civility and professionalism prevail within the security architecture. But if you tend to do it partisan, if you blame somebody today, somebody will flip the coin and have millions of accusations on you. So I think the credibility is what is a problem today, you understand? So I think we need to frame the conversation in such a way that people within the people outside the political scope can find reason and understand that we really have a genuine course of action, and people will accept the conversation. Else, it remains mere partisan, emotional speculations that will find no grounding in any substance, and it will continue like that.
Let me bring in Professor Tatos Biyoda. He is a politician. He mentioned the fact that politicians do take a stance that benefits them today, and then tomorrow they change it. Prof.
So sometimes when you refer to me as a politician, it doesn't sink in. It's not taking time to sink in. A lot of the time, I criticize politicians before I realize I've consulted, participated, and actually won an election. And by extent, I'm one. So I'm getting used to the feeling that I'm one, but I see myself so more as an academic, a professional, a medical practitioner, expressing my views and opinions in a political space. So let me say good morning to my colleagues again and say that it's interesting the views being expressed. My initial comment on yesterday's demonstration is that I want to commend the Ghana Police Service and the organizers for a peaceful demonstration. The successful conduct of yesterday's demonstration without government attempting to suppress that demonstration itself, in my opinion, is a clear demonstration that our democracy is growing. So I find a huge contrast.
But has any government ever tried to suppress demonstrations?
I'll give you a plethora of them. Okay. You see, this country, sometimes people induce or assume that we have some form of amnesia, some form of memory loss. And I say induce because sometimes you can see that people selectively are inducing amnesia on you. And I'll give you some examples of that. But just to say that the success of the demonstration, the fact that people could walk peacefully to the Jubilee House and present a petition to the Supreme Court without them being tagged at national security zones, and therefore you cannot go there, is a clear sign that our democracy is growing. So I welcome the demonstration to the extent that it amplified the growth of our democracy. And that's why I say the name itself is a contrast.
So in the past, weren't people able to get to the flag servers to deliver petitions?
Pushing me, I'll get there very soon. So I think that the demonstration yesterday tested the tolerance of government because the date and timing of this demonstration was very unfortunate. We should not forget that this country, national tragedies like what happened on the 6th of August bring all of us together as a nation to mourn. And during that very sad event, I didn't see NPP, I didn't see NDC. We all mourned. In fact, what touched me was someone that contested the former deputy NADMO coordinator that died in this unfortunate plane crash. My colleague, medical doctor, who is the MP for Obuasi East, when he heard of his death, was as traumatized as all of us were. When we met each other, we couldn't even console each other. We were all crying. It tells you that moments of such huge grief bring us together as a nation. So to choose that day to demonstrate, I don't know what went into the choice.
They also explained that on the day 40 people died also through the floods, I mean, there was a Thanksgiving service, and therefore they felt that, well,
as I'm saying, I feel, this is my feeling, that is unfortunate. Government, it's not a feeling of government. Government didn't try to stop them. Government allowed it. And I therefore express surprise at our leader in parliament, the minority leader, when he got to the Jubilee House and met a senior member of government and was disappointed that at such a time that the entire nation is mourning, the president is mourning a year anniversary of the pass of his defense minister. Cabinet ministers, 2 cabinet ministers. You expected him or chief of staff or those people to be there to receive this. Let's be realistic. It's unfortunate. But you asked a question. Let me just take us a bit down memory lane and so that correct the selective amnesia that people are trying to induce on us. On May 6, 2021, Ghana Police Service secured an ex parte injunction restraining order from the High Court, Accra High Court, presided over Justice Ruby Aite, to halt Fix the Country demonstration scheduled for 9th May. Right? June 3, 2022, the Accra High Court granted a police-filed injunction prohibiting a 3-day planned demonstration by Fix the Country. December 2023, the police filed a High Court injunction application to block a planned month-long demonstration by Democracy Hubs to Fix the Country organizers, prompting the organizers to run to the Supreme Court. I'm just citing these things for you to know that if anybody thinks that it is lost on us where we have come from, I have been a union leader, and for us in the union, demonstrations, strikes, sit down, wearing of red armbands, all these are means by which you express how you feel. And to the extent that someone attempts to suppress that through, legal gymnastics. Today is an ex parte motion. They will not even give hearing to the organizers for them to even explain. Sometimes even to just hear them and sit with them and say, oh, use this route, or can we change the date, can we do this? No, they go ex parte. 2 days your planned demonstration, a day before. We've seen that in this country. We can't say that we haven't seen that. So I am saying that we are thanking them for proving that we have a very tolerant government that is willing to allow for dissenting opinion, for people to express how they feel. My colleague also mentioned that the support of the police and how the police were yesterday, their body demeanor, I'm not quoting, but paraphrasing what he said, suggests, and here I'm quoting, that they are getting tired of the administration.
No, I didn't say the administration.
You said they are getting tired of the system. Yes.
Oh, I mean the incessant arrest of opposition.
No, you said the conduct of the police.
Okay,
yes.
That is, let me, I mean the arrest that is going on, the conversations that we had with them, that's the point I'm making.
All right. So I'm just saying that let's not mistake the professionalism exhibited by the police, which I celebrate. And I celebrate the good leadership of the police. I celebrate the IGP, Christian Tete Yohonu, for leading a professional police force that gives credible policing to anybody to be able to express their opinion. I would be very sad if His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on any day or any NDC government attempt to stop anybody from demonstrating. Look, we were in this country when the US president was visiting this country under the era of His Excellency John Evans Atta Mills of blessed memory, when Alliance for Accountable Governance decided that they were going to demonstrate. On the exact day, members of government were worried. His Excellency the President then, the King of Peace, Asunjehini, said allow them. And his demeanor when he met the leadership of the demonstrators and gave them the permission, they themselves went and sat down like, look, let's change the dates. Right? That is the kind of leadership we want. And that's the kind of leadership that has been exhibited yesterday. So they have very fair grounds to complain. I support any complaint against people's rights being infringed on. I don't think anybody's right to be infringed on. People should have the freedom to express their views. But please, he asked a very important question. Who determines what is of national security importance? And this is where I said there's selective, an attempt to induce selective amnesia on us. And you are buying into it right now. You are following the trend that is just saying someone is burying 32 cows should not send you to should not let you lose your freedom.
Because how does that cause chaos?
Good. You see, this is where the selective amnesia comes in.
32.
They select a phrase in a full commentary, which is harmless, and trumpet that phrase over and over and over, and then the entire country begin to feel and that this is the only reason why the person was picked up, therefore inducing memory loss on the very sensitive things that the person said. He's a civil person. I am civil. He has agreed on this platform that some of the things the people said, he can't even repeat them here. Neither am I willing to repeat them. But if the person who mentioned this burying of 32 cows, the police will be insane. The government, national security will be mad if they go and pick someone for alleging that somebody has buried 32 cows. Go and watch the full verdict of the lady's statement. When she threatened even the president, you are telling me here that the president cannot be sued. So why should the president have the order to permission to sue? The president cannot be sued because the president is a number one gentleman. The president is no longer himself. He doesn't have a private life. He is the nation. Right? It is the reason why he has been given certain immunities. By that extension, any attack on the president is an attack on the nation. You cannot tell me that someone can feel free to insult the president, threaten the very life of the president, and you see that as national security. He was saying here that if you should say the president should be removed today, he himself expects to be picked up. And I agree. None of us deserve to say so. Me, throughout the era of His Excellency Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Bawumia, I have never passed a condescending remark or denigrative remark of senior citizens of this country. Not many get the opportunity to serve at the highest level. When you have it, we must respect that office and respect you. You cannot sit in your closet
and make very disparaging remarks, threatening the very life of the first family. Okay. And telling me that that is not national security. So if someone sit down and say that our president does not deserve to live, our president doesn't, you expect that national security will sit down and say, because in that same context, the person mentioned the bearing, so the man who alleged the bearing of the car, why wasn't the man picked up? Someone original statement, someone said he buried the cow. Why wasn't the person picked up? So we should find out what additional things did the lady say. Okay. So let's not allow ourselves to be compelled into a national state of amnesia, memory loss, and selective one at that, by deliberate communication strategies where they will come, select a phrase. So you look at the case of Wontumi. I'm not a lawyer, he's not a lawyer, he has read it. Common sense interpretation of the judgment would tell you that there were faults in that judgment. And Wontumi judgment? No, Sedina judgment. Then an appeal court goes in and take a decision. I sat here and I told you, in terms of the sequence of events, I said it here, I didn't shy away from it, that if I were a judge, and if I were following emotions, if I were following as a politician, if I were a political leader, I would not ask that that judgment be made at the time. Because the lady just came back, within such a short time, there were speculations she will be freed, and truly she has been acquitted and discharged. So it will play into the public gallery as a whole charade or something that has been set up, right? So no politician who wants to portray good governance will suggest that. But it demonstrates the very independence of the judiciary. I'm telling you, if President Mahama was the one, if Attorney General was the one to pass the judgment, he would not have asked the lady to be acquitted and discharged. That is why she is challenging it in court. But they use the legal principles, and when you follow the law, they tell you based on the law, they do not find merit in that judgment. So again, selective amnesia. They will come and sit on stage, will not quote the law, will not quote the judgment, and tell you the faults that the 3 appeal court judges unanimously found, but rather will go to the alleged crimes of the person. What are they inducing in you? So that you forget the content of the judgment. But when the Attorney General is even challenging that, yes, doesn't it give credence to them challenging the ruling? That's what I'm saying. So they should help all of us with good intellectual discourse to challenge the ruling. Let us speak to the ruling. Let us speak to the ruling. So but if you come, I've heard them say, if you found fundamental issues with the way the trial went, yes, what to do is to call for a retrial. Excellent. And nobody in government has said they should not have called for a retrial. Nobody. That's why the Attorney General is even challenging it. The judges had the option for a retrial. They had the option to quash the whole thing, acquit and discharge. They opted for one. I do not know under what circumstances a judge will choose A or B. Okay. So I expect that the legal luminaries in this country will educate us on platforms like this to guide us that, okay, under this particular case 1, 2, 3, judges chose a retrial. Under this case 1, 2, 3, they chose an acquittal and discharge. Based on this, we think that you should have done this, and go to court and challenge it. But if you want to mislead the entire country, you sit on stage and they make allegations. They say he took 91 million, he took this, she took this, she took that. That is why she has to be in jail, and therefore the government is free. When you know that it was on the fact of law that this has been done. If you think there's a miscarriage of justice, criticize that fact of law and lead us on. And that's why he said there is a way you present your case that carries the nation along. Okay. When we do this political thing, and I'll end with the same thing that they did with the Wontumi case, which I was trying to cite earlier. When you look at the Wontumi case, they went to court, argued in open court after the case was lost. You come to the media and pick a line. The line is what? They said assignment. He didn't assign. There was no deed of assignment. When there's no deed of assignment, he's free. How can you, and even yesterday the Honorable Minority Leader mentioned it again. How can you jail someone if somebody is doing illegal mining on my concession? How do you jail me? Was that why he was jailed? The law says that before anybody will enter your concession, have a written permit from the Minister for
lands and natural resource. It is clear in the law that if you have a concession, before you can assign it to someone, before you can permit someone to encumber, it is in the law. The law didn't settle on, you are a legal student. The law didn't settle on assignment. It didn't settle on assignment. There is assignment, permit, encumbering. That term was used there. All of that is there. So why do we all allow them to lead us into that state? And I'm very concerned. I've done mental health, I've done psychiatry, and I know the type of memory loss we have, where you can have a remote memory loss, where you can have an immediate memory loss. Some memory loss with aging is permitted, but what we should guard against as a nation is for a group of people to decide to use communication to induce memory loss in us.
All right, thank you very much. Prof, where do you stand?
Prof was doing academic analysis here.
Yes.
No political analysis.
No, that's my area. That's why I say sometimes. I don't think that I'm a politician.
An academic analysis.
So,
well,
yeah, Kojo, good morning, and good morning to my colleagues as well.
Yeah, good morning, Prof.
I also want to join my good friend, Prof, by thanking the Ghana Police Service. I need to commend them. They did a yeoman's job yesterday. Quite professional. And I also need to thank the demonstrators, and by extension, the NPP leadership. They also comported themselves very well. We would have woken up in the morning to hear bizarre news, things that were not fleeting headlines and all that. But thankfully, we ended the demonstration yesterday peacefully, and that's what we're praying for. Because a country like ours, a thriving democracy, we shouldn't have major issues that will not have solutions to those ones. So in any day, I'll choose peaceful demonstration over civil war. I would choose peaceful demonstration, no matter how many times people want to go on demonstration. Once it's peaceful, we allow them to go. And then we don't endorse civil wars in the countries, or where people will have difficulties in airing their views and their positions on matters that governs our country. So yesterday was peaceful. It is also important that we understand the question you asked. Is our democracy under attack? Very interesting question, and I'm sure your viewers also will be struggling. If we say a democracy in the attack, what are the signs? What are the things that we must look out for to actually confirm that indeed democracy is under attack? And I'm sure that was a tagline for demonstrators yesterday, democracy under attack. And for me, my little governance that I learned in school, those days, secondary school, we're told that democracy, if it's under attack, then it probably means that institutions, norms, and processes that govern as a citizen are gradually become weakened or bypassed. And it's important that we also find the same context in our economy that we find ourselves. What are the signs that will help us to know that a country democracy is under attack? And probably when we have judiciary interference, we can also, it's under attack. Where we have the media, the press, not having their field days. One statement you are picked and two statements you are picked. We can equally say, yes, democracy is also under attack. So looking at all these signs, it tells me, Ghana, if you give me an average for 1 to 5, to a larger extent, we see these symptoms in our economy, in the system that we find out. So we can equally say that, yes, we are having a sign. It might not be that global, degenerated into major issues, but then we see signs of such issues in our country. But let's come back to the issues that the minority raised during their protest, their demonstration. Sometimes when someone is embarking on demonstration or having issues with you need to also sit down and flag those issues that those individuals are raising. And also when the president sent the woman to meet them to receive their petition, which was good because that's what we expected. In fact, if you look at the entire statement from the minority leader, it appears issues about social media arrest surfaced. Issue about the Chief Justice removal, which my prof also talked about, was also part of their issues. And then on even accountability, the mentioning of Wontumi, while we have other people who are doing active mining, they are not being picked up. And the president had even said that, I may be wrong with the quotation, that his own people in government have also been found in doing those things. So the question would be, why are there people, who are those people in the first place? And why are they not being picked up? So they mentioned that issue as well. Then issue about this, some of the major cases that this administration inherited have been left off hooked. So going by what they presented, we can understand where they are coming from. But Kojo, let me also digress a bit and say that for decades, let's be honest, several key public officials, both NDC and NPP, have engaged in inflammatory comment, have engaged unchecked comment, have engaged in some of the personal attacks. We can cite several examples, such as to sit here. My good friend mentioned when they labeled the former president, Akufo-Addo, the insults, the statement that at the point he even killed the wife. Undermining, you heard that song. People even said that anytime he attempted to fly, the plane crashed. You heard all this. Let's extend the conversation a bit to the vice president. Then, the description we gave to him. Now, we can also ignore the fact that our current president has equally been subjected to several personal attacks, including his family, including his brothers, bootlickers. So many things have been said about him. All these have gone unchecked. So the question now is, where do we draw the line? And how do we do it? In a thriving democracy like Ghana, justice must be done. But we must be consistent and fair with how we come up with our justice. Very important. If you don't do that, then all of us, for me, on my personal level, let's even zero in on the social media arrest of these individuals. Why do we encourage the youth to insult people and we benefit as politicians? Is that how we've been taught? I will never support any insult on any person. And I've not done that in my years of engagement. No, because that's not how we teach our children. But the point is that if we are to draw the line, we should be fair in the way we do it. All these comments have gone unchecked for decades now. Today, if you want to have the line drawn, it must be drawn well. How do we arrest those people? How do we treat them when they are arrested? Which comments will cause for a proper arrest? That's the conversation. But while we are holding this government to bringing the government to a discussion, it's just because in their manifesto, the word used, resetting. So if all these things had happened in the past, gone unchecked, people were not handled properly, and today we want to do it right, we should not be seen be doing those things done in the past. Because it's a resetting agenda. We need to clean the table. How do we do it? That's the conversation we have this morning. And how do you do it? I cannot be the one to proffer solution at this point. But the point is that we shouldn't be seen be gagging or preventing people when they want to make statements. Okay. That's very important.
You mentioned that you were happy they sent the woman to come and receive the petition.
Yeah.
So what do you make of the what happened when she came?
Well, in fact, I had comment from, and that's the woman I respect her very well. But if you focus on that issue, it will take the shine away from the entire conversation. And I don't want us to get there.
Okay.
Because it has nothing to do with our issues that we are talking about.
Okay.
You were sent to come and receive petition. Comments were made. But I heard her say yesterday, that the minister or the MP even had to change that statement. I mean, you can quote me. Okay. So once she made that comment, I said, then there's no need for us to trumpeting this whole issue. Okay. For me, we have a rare issue to talk about. That issue does not take a shine out of all this conversation. Okay.
So, right. But let me just make a quick comment that Prof asked a very important question, and I am worried about the same question. We all want a better country for ourselves, and the question of political equalization is not helpful to us. And the question is, where do we begin? Under this administration, and from following on previous efforts, we've tried to sanitize our social media space. I mean, it's new to all of us. It wasn't there before. And when new challenges emerge, you find new solutions. So a cybersecurity law was passed, or act was passed to ensure that we can clean up the place, ensure that there's safety for our people. We should, as a nation, really begin to look at it. And it looks like wherever you begin, someone will complain. If things were done and they were unchecked in the past, and someone says, I'm resetting, and therefore I'm starting to check everything, it will be seen as selective because it's starting now. Do you go back in time, and back in time to when? This is a dilemma of any leader in this country, because whatever you do, people will politicize it. Today, you would hear our colleagues, and the respected honorable minority leader has made some very, very important comments, and I salute him for that in Parliament, where he said that, look, as politicians, we sit down, battle each other, and allow the technocrats, the bureaucrats to do things that are terrible, but then the politician is hanged. And anytime we come, we are at each other's throat. Meanwhile, the real things are there. And the question is, where do we begin from? If you come and you decide that, I'm not prosecuting anybody, they come at you. The former Tamils did that, and they say, Father for all, trouble. Now, already we are getting threats from the other side. What you are doing when we come, we will pay you back.
So you are setting
so 1 minute in which all these individuals are picked up.
That is where I'm coming to.
Handled.
So I am saying that we should have a dispassionate national discourse where maybe, I don't know who should lead it, possibly not a politician, civil society.
Let us lead it.
Yes, but you are not the civil society should lead it. The media should lead it. Then our technocrats should be real technocrats and bureaucrats and take the politicians aside. For instance, the police should be able to stand up to someone and say, look, this arrest, we will do it this way, we will not do it this way. Because for me, if I hear that the police has picked up someone in a way that
you are now speaking like...
No, I've always professional.
Can we ever get it done? Can we ever
one of the ways we can get it done.
Allow him to build this point, I beg you.
One of the ways we can get it done, if you ask me, is to get to the point where the police IGP, the various regional commanders are not appointed from the government or by the president. Yeah. There are states where they elect their mayor and their police chiefs.
But do you ever see us happen, even when it came to the election of MMDC, still the white people still give that power to the president.
We will get there. It's gradual. I wish it is faster than it is now, but I am hopeful that we'll get, because honestly, if we cannot get there, then we are helpless. Okay. Because we should have police that can stand, like yesterday. I am saluting the police because I'm not sure whether there's any communication between government and the police, but I saw a police force that went out and did what is professional.
Isn't it because also the organizers, the demonstrators comported themselves?
That's why we commended both sides. We never singled out one. But I am happy. I'm saluting the states, the police, the organizers. I commended them for doing a good job. I was concerned about the dates. That is my concern.
All right.
So I'm just saying that we should build national institutions, and people who hold national offices should be able to be bold and stand up to authority and say, I am doing what is right. And to do that, politicians, social commentators should not unnecessarily vilify technocrats and bureaucrats like the judges. The judge cannot come and sit here and argue.
All right.
So when he makes his judgment, let's look at the judgment. Let's criticize it. If we want to face him, let's go back to court and challenge the judgment and seek another opinion from someone else. But when we vilify them, we make all of them like they are politicians, brand them in party colors, then we are all in trouble.
Okay. All right. Thank
you.
you.
1 minute. You see, Prof, when he took off the political cap, he's now admitting the very issues that we're talking about. He says it should get to a point where the police, when it's being commanded by the politician, he didn't put it that way, but I'm expanding it for him.
So don't put words in my mouth.
Commanded by the politician to go and arrest somebody, he should stay his grounds and say, I'm not going to do this. It means that is what is going on now. Okay. No. I'm saying I'm expanding it for you.
Okay. So,
you don't have because of your position. You cannot say it as a
no. Don't put words in my mouth. Make your point.
Rightly.
I initially said he didn't say it.
Okay.
So I'm expanding it because basically
this is your own opinion.
Basically, we are all saying the same thing. So he agrees with me on this. Again, your position that the police went to court. I'm happy you said during our time, the police went to court to stop demonstrators from demonstrating at a particular date and time.
Yes.
Is that part of our democracy?
It is. But is that what we should encourage?
Wait. If it's part of our democracy, why question it?
Oh, really?
Yes, why should you question it?
I will question
because at the end of the day, the demonstrator prevailed and the demonstration came on.
Some of it they did it.
At every instant.
And some of it went
police,
because they were told not to get to the Jubilee House.
The police,
and when they attempted to get it, that's where the chaos came.
The police at every point in time will try to frustrate you.
This time
if they do, it's because we didn't talk about it.
No,
you have to agree with them on a date. So if they give reasons why it cannot be held, and you still stay your ground, they will have no option than to go to court. It's still part of our democratic processes. So once you used it, it was more of those issues are part of the things that run down our democracy. You see, the very issue, my brother also talked about Captain Smart. How many hours was Captain Smart held in the BNI custody? 5 hours.
Is that consequential?
Wait.
Should he have been held at all?
He was invited to come and answer questions. These are not the issues that we are raising. We are talking of misdemeanors that cost somebody 2 weeks in remand. These are the issues that we are talking about. Captain Smart ran his mouth on an issue. He was invited to come and give evidence to what he has. He never ended up in prison custody or being remanded by the court. So let's not compare these issues at all. Again, President Mahama and the NDC are beneficiaries of insults in politics. They themselves perpetrated these insults and glorified individuals who were doing this. Kevin Taylor, is he not your hero? Is he not the people that NDC glorifies so much? When he came to this country, he was given a red carpet treatment. We even heard he was sleeping in one of the vice president's residence. Hey. He came here. You are jailing your political opponents. He came to Ghana and nothing happened to him. This gentleman has insulted almost every prominent personality in this country. You let him go. The last one. The last but two, anyway. I'm just giving 2 instances. I will not explain. Just last one. The Muntier 3. It didn't happen now, but I'm just citing it as an example. These individuals, just like Kevin Taylor is behaving now, insulted almost everybody, threatened a sitting Chief Justice. If I'm to paraphrase or read meanings into their captions, said they would even rape him. They were put, rape her. They were jailed by the justices. They are cited for contempt. President Mahama, because these individuals were dear to him, mere 4 months couldn't even stand it. He pardoned them. The last one I was talking about, as I sit here, Kojo, if woe betide me, and I dare say, President Mahama has stolen all our gold from our vault in Bank of Ghana. Kojo, what do you think will happen to me now?
But you've said it.
No, I'm saying if I say that and put this out there, the police will come for me, number one. They will say I'm trying to cause fear and panic, whichever item that will. Again, Fifi Kwete, your general secretary, said this and labeled President Akufo a thief with a similar incident, but nothing happened to him. Not even President Rawlings, who came from a military rule. He allowed us to freely express our views. So for us as NPP, we are not asking much. We are only pleading or imploring on President Mahama to grant us space to express our views. We are not asking much. Is it difficult?
But they say that to every right, there's a responsibility attached.
That is why I said, if my utterances don't border on national security and it affects an individual, the individual reserves the right to take me to court.
Let me bring in Ivan.
I think that the
president of the land.
I think there is a reason the framers put it in the constitution which allow us to demonstrate. It's a way of bringing issues, critical issues, to the forefront of public debate. So if you're not careful, you veer into trivialities and lose substance in the kind of argument you're putting forward. For instance, yesterday I heard with the Wontumi case. Wontumi did not engage in galamsey, and yet he has been imprisoned. The last time I mentioned on one of your platforms that Act 703 is a piece of legislative weapon. It has been weaponized, because if you read sections 99(2)b, you don't need to engage in galamsey.
Of course.
If you do any act that facilitates, that counsel, that allows anybody to do anything that contravenes the piece of paper, not galamsey, that contravene any of the sections therein in the provision, you are liable to go to jail. So I did not weaponize that particular legislation. You understand? So if you are a minority leader who is a lawyer and speaking to some of these issues, you need to avail your mind to some of these things so that you can find reason with average people to have your whatever point you are putting across to be agreed upon. You understand? That is the only way you can drive that particular conversation. Again, in the case of Sedinam, I think about 38 of the charges were trashed because the judges found it to be something that could not have allowed the defense lawyer to craft any proper defense. Because if you read section 1128 1 to 4 of the Act 30, it has prescribed what constitutes sufficiency of a charge sheet. And the same law has made provision in section 04, section 406, that will cure any of these omissions. But the judges took all these sections into consideration and they could not cure any of these sections. You understand? It's the reason why they trash it. And again, yesterday I was speaking to a friend who is a lawyer in the United States of America.
But if you know, there are inaccuracies or things that the trial judge should have done right.
So why is this?
And then the best way to handle this, look at what Prof said, that if you look at the concerns people had with this particular matter, it is for you to order for a retrial and not to affect and discharge.
So let me answer your question. Retrial in this case is almost impossible because Godfrey Rodame crafted the count from 9 categories of offenses, and out of that he got 78 count. If you look at the crimes the woman is alleged to have committed, almost everything has been captured in this particular kind of judgment. Because of the principle of double jeopardy, you cannot try the same person on the same set of facts and the same evidence that will come. So if you take away the 9 categories, there will be nothing left for anybody. So that is why I disagree with those calling for retrial.
So what is the AG going to do then?
He's appealing.
He said he's appealing.
Yes. I get it.
Do you know what
I get it. Yes.
For me, that's
essentially
wasting his time.
Yes. Oh, really?
Oh, yes. For me, he's wasting his time because if you read the judgment, don't forget that the Supreme Court is not going to admit any external document. They are going to rely on the 2 judgments and make provisions. But if the thing is defective, and for instance, and yesterday I was talking to a friend in the United States of America about the count. He said, no serious prosecutor will put up about 78 count, because in a criminal prosecution, you are supposed to prove each count beyond reasonable doubt. And it's a Herculean task to do, you understand? In the Wontumi case, there were just 6 count. Another day, the prosecution was
there were two issues.
Yes, one last thing about one last concern that was being thrown about yesterday was the fact that the critical actors in this criminal enterprise were left go because they were turned into what do you call prosecution witness. And I think that is a common practice anyway. When it comes to prosecution, it is the square discretion of the Attorney General, depending on the prosecutorial objective that you have.
But isn't that why people are also asking questions?
Yeah, because I think it's a system people...
Yeah, it is right. But as people say, something may seem right.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you should.
But that is why I'm saying that, Prof. A quick one. That is, it is in line with the prosecutorial objective of the AG. Because when this guy was arrested in Mexico, you know, El Chapo.
Yes.
Nobody ever caught him with cocaine. So how was the America going to get, the DEA going to get direct and positive evidence to try him? So the very criminals who executed his whole enterprise were the people who were turned into
the witnesses.
The witnesses. No, but they were.
I have mentioned. Thank you. I have mentioned here. We need to move on. It's 8:27. I have mentioned here. 8:27. Prof, you've had your second bite. Let's move on and talk about something else. Unless, of course, Prof hasn't had a second bite.
No.
If you don't want, then we can move on to talk about IMF.
This. I've not had extended conversation about Wontumi issue for a long time.
It's not about Wontumi. It's still about the demonstration.
Of course, it was part of the.
It came out in there.
And I was happy when lawyer said, "Well,
he's not a lawyer."
Oh well,
I think he's someone who is a lawyer of law.
Pockets.
You have. It's fine. He's been arrested, jailed. But what is wrong that our president statement? I know people in my administration who are found in this. Why can't we hand these old people for court to try these individuals?
You see, Prof.
I think that was not his exact way.
That was not it.
I said no.
I said initially, let's quote him well.
Okay, quote him. We are listening. Prof, allow him.
Okay,
please quote him.
No, you go on. You are making yourself.
No, you quote him well.
Finish.
Whichever the state.
It's part of the selective.
The video is on YouTube.
Induce amnesia that they do for us. You go on.
What did he say?
It is important that we bring these conversations.
We all have ears.
Whichever form it was presented, the implication will be that people are doing it. And I'm aware, and I know. So what's happening to these individuals? We want to stop a menace. We want to stop an issue, a national crisis. And later, yesterday, we commemorated some people who are, because of the fight against this. So my issue is that if you have picked someone and he's jailed, I don't want to go into the legal issue because I'm not a lawyer. But the point is that we have someone who had made a statement. Whether he knows them or doesn't know them, it came from his own mouth. What is happening to these individuals?
Okay.
It's not begging for a conversation.
Okay. All right. Let's now deal with the IMF on Ghana's economy now.
Did you want me to give what the president said? Said, I won't pretend our own people are not involved in Galamsey.
Okay.
He didn't say, I know A, B, C.
No, I won't pretend. Prof, they are not the same. But see, I didn't want us to go into that argument. I won't pretend because, for instance,
a president who has all the security apparatus
and are there people from his government that are under investigation?
Yes. Are there party people? The national organizer.
Amin says he has not even once been invited by any security actor.
Where did he say that?
Hemi has said it on radio.
Where did he say that?
He said it on radio.
Which radio?
Okay. Let's make progress.
Amin has been invited by you.
Let's make progress.
Please. Go ahead.
Yamin has never been invited throughout this process.
My production is confirming that.
Yes.
Yamin has indeed said he has not been invited to any process.
And should it take more than 1 year? Granted that they were investigating. It's over 1 year now. You've not even told us anything. Since the AG gave the said petition to Yoko.
Yeah.
Should it take more than 1 year? You won't to me. I've asked this question. Was it taken to a fast-track high court? It took less than 6 months to jail you to me.
Okay. All right.
Meanwhile, when it comes to your own, you treat them with case gloves and pretend as if you are not. You are not.
Let's make progress. Let's make progress. Now, the International Monetary Fund has disclosed that the Bank of Ghana sold $12.9 billion on the foreign exchange market in the year to end May 2026, about 1.1 billion a month, laying bare the scale of an intervention that has propped up the city even as the currency slips again this year. Now, in its report accompanying the sixth and final review of Ghana's $3 billion extended credit facility, the fund said the central bank, quote, accumulated $3.9 billion and sold $12.9 billion in FX in the 12 months through end May 2026, unquote, while rebuilding reserves beyond program targets. Let me start this with you, Prof.
The right place.
Exactly. I mean, must we be worried? Must we look at the stability in the economy or the cost of it?
No, Kojo, you are very good, sharp, very, he has very insightful questions that you have to be careful how you answer. So you take the question again.
I was trained at the School of Agriculture.
You didn't go to Harvard. Harvard.
No. UCC. I did agree in UCC.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's a sharp guy.
Yeah.
I agree for their being.
But UCC guys are also real.
Okay. But so my question is that must we look at the stability or the cost of it?
The two are very important. They go hand in hand.
Okay.
This happened to be the report from IMF country report, 26/1213 or so, and they do it all the time. Are we worried about stability or the cost? The evidence suggests that Bank of Ghana intervention actually stabilized the forex market, has stabilized our cedi, inflation down, international reserve up. So you clearly have an evidence that yes, we have seen the impact of the intervention to the system. However, we are equally worried because of the quasi-fiscal cost that we have incurred. And the question would be, could we have achieved the same microeconomic outcomes at a lower cost to our economy? Because it has attracted a cost to BOG. The end of year, they recorded a negative figure. End of year, negative equity. And today, the BOG or the Minister of Finance is trying to raise bonds in the market of 5 million to take care of the recapitalization of BOG.
So you break down the negative equity and for the ordinary Ghanaian to understand, what does it mean?
Yeah, they can.
Oh, go ahead. You wanted to
Oh, he's saying break it down. I'm saying yaboka. That is the negative equity.
No. You know, when you have your assets, who you are, what makes you as a human being, you have your income, you have your revenue and all that, and your total assets, what you own as an individual, what you owe. When you deduct what you owe other people from what you own, what to be left is who you are as your equity. So I have borrowed money and my asset about 5 cedis, but I have my total liability as maybe 10 cedis. When I did that, I still have a negative. So that's what happened to Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Of all the assets and their liability, the bank recorded a negative equity, which means that it will be difficult for such company to survive for foreseeable future.
Okay.
So there should be a recapitalization. So they are calling the government to support. Else, operations will be difficult. That's all that we are talking about. So I asked a question, could you have achieved the same thing at a lower cost to the country? Yes, maybe there could be other ways for us. Might not have that conversation today. I've had it several times, how we could have achieved the same thing, getting different results. But let's come back to the conversation. You mentioned two figures here. I saw a figure of 13 billion Ghana cedi.
Yes, there's $12.9 billion.
Yeah, and I saw the in cedi equivalent.
Okay.
In cedi equivalent.
If you translate $12.9 billion in cedi, that should be a lot of money. Then you multiply it by, even if it's 10.
Yeah, but I saw, I think,
9 billion. Huh?
So let's look at even there was 10 billion or so. And there was 1.7 due to the domestic gold purchase agreement. So two issues here. One happened to be the FX sales, and one happens to be the domestic gold purchase agreement. So the figures are not the same, but they have links.
Okay, so this is it. It says, the IMF flagged a governance concern in how the intervention was carried out. While a new FX operations framework introduced in November 2025 had improved transparency, the fund said, quote, auctions have frequently deviated from published guidelines by rejecting the highest bids, unquote. The scale of the dollar sales comes as Ghana leans heavily on gold to rebuild its external buffers, a strategy that has carried a steep cost. The central bank's domestic gold purchase program, run in tandem with the state-owned Ghana Gold Board, quote, has generated losses of 22 billion Ghana cedis, 1.5% of GDP in 2025, the report said.
Yeah. So let's even focus on the dollar-denominated figures. So 10.6 against 1.7. So the 10.6 happened the FX sales, which they recorded. And then the 1.7 happened the gold board, the transaction they had with gold board, and that generated that figure. We have been struggling with this administration in terms of two words that they put them together: interventions and intermediation. You know, when this whole conversation started, it was more of interventions. At a point, we're told that, oh, we're doing intermediation. They are not the same. If you look at a referee who is in a game, in a match, ensures that red cards are issued to ensure that we all play according to the rules. That is more of an intervention, having a direct control of an activity. But intermediary will often bring the two players together, like a bank brings together the one who needs a facility and the one who has a deposit, and ensure that resources are allocated. That's basically what happens. So which one are we talking about? Is it the intermediation or intermediary? But in recent times, the goalposts are being shifted as we are doing intermediation. But what I have seen is a proper intervention in the market, trying to control or suppress and ensure that cedi performs. And therefore, let me throw in, go to reserve, bring money, put into the economy, so that we stabilize our currency. And I said in my intro, yes, we have seen evidence, stabilization in the forex markets, the cedi, inflation, the reserves. So we see it. But the issue that we have is that the figure we mentioned, the 10.6, in terms of percentage, if you look at the intervention, it represents 51% of BOG inflows. The amount we put into the economy represents 52% of BOG inflows that came in, sank into the economy. 9.2 of our GDP. What it means that if a country generates 100 cedis, we throw in terms of forex, 9.2%.
So 9 cedis, 20 pesos.
Yes, into the economy. Is this sustainable? That's the question. Now, at the back of what happened, the forest sales also caused the 1.7 billion losses through the domestic gold purchase agreement. And this has been flagged by IMF. Not happy with such transactions. And in the Bank of Ghana own outfit said we are going to do away with this and for a while because we are not. But the interesting thing I saw in the mid-year budget, the government want to have the Ghana National Accelerated accumulation buffer. GANRAP. 15 months import cover for 2028 through this. Remember, this same program is costing you, giving you a loss position of 1.7. You want to extend the same thing. It's an interesting conversation to have. Your activity with Gold Board resulted in this loss position from what we are now, the domestic gold purchase agreement. If it's given that loss position, negative position, how do you extend this whole thing? It's good to have an idea, want to increase the import cover to 15 months. It gives us a leverage as a country. But then, check what cost, the amount we are talking about, the 1.7, what triggered? As a result of these issues with Gold Board, which the IMF flagged. Go and see our exit report, the IMF. It's interesting. The issue they flagged in the same report. And today, this is a special report from the same outfits telling us of what happened. So the 10.6 also affected other position, which is your your domestic goods purchase agreement. So, Kojo, we have an issue. We cannot sustain our economy on this intervention. It won't work. It will get to a point that if you're unable to get the reserves, what do you do?
We always sell gold. So
we sell.
We always sell gold. So we use, because if you listen to the Bank of Ghana governor, he says it's the proceeds from the gold that we've been selling that we use to intervene. At a point, they even say that we get some forest from the oil mining and oil companies, and so we use them too. So it's not your reserves. That's what the BOG governor is saying. No. Is that dangerous to do? If you're not falling on your reserves, but you're selling gold to stabilize your currency or your economy.
But we fall on a reserve.
He says no.
We're not a country when we fall on a reserve, we reduce our reserves.
Okay. All right. Let me bring in Dr. Professor Titus Bayo. Prof, where do you disagree with Prof on what he said?
Do I have the capacity to disagree?
When he was speaking, I saw that there were issues that you had disagreement.
I'm learning a lot from him. Economy is not my field.
Yeah.
But as I keep saying, there is a textbook economy. There's economy for the economic management team and academics like him who will sit and think for us, and there's the economy that we live. For me, I look at my lived economy.
Okay.
And I think our economy is in capable hands. And so like a patient, I can trust my physician to do what he's supposed to do. But all I want is that my pain should go away. And once my pain can go away, do what you do to get my pain to go away. So you are a patient, you go to hospital, they put you to sleep. You don't know what the doctor did, but you come out and you hope that what led you to that theater should have been taken care of.
You won't look at the costs?
So I'm coming to that. If the costs, if you come into the case of life, there is nothing more that you can use to value life. So if it will cost me my whatever savings and I will leave, I'll be happy. Now when you come to it in terms of economics, my question is that whether it's intervention, intermediation, or whatever, at the end of the day, is our lived economy better? And is it getting better? I would say yes. We are not where we want to be, but I can see the signs that are good. We have had the Bank of Ghana make losses in the past. But what did we feel at that time? Our CD was unstable, was depreciating, interest rate was high, and we were struggling. if the Bank of Ghana today will make some loss, but I'm guaranteed of a stable cedi, I can project, I can be sure that my salary is not depreciating by the day, I am happy. To the extent that they know how to manage those losses and it doesn't affect me, I am happy. In this country or in this economy, as I'm saying, take it from me that I'm not an expert in economy. But what I can see is that our interest rate as of depreciation of the cedi for now is relatively stable. Yesterday, the Ghana Statistical Service came up with inflation, 4.6. Very encouraging. And it's not something that is out of the blue. You go to the market, at least you can be sure that the price of what you bought last week will be about the same.
Because there are no monies in the system.
Well, do you get food to eat?
If there's no money in the system.
Do you get food to eat? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When we starve,
but when there's money in the system, we still get food to eat.
See, there is something about the purchasing power. Mm-hmm. And I, as I say, I speak from the area of my strength. Mm-hmm. As a unionist, one of the things we used to fight about when we're having the unstable cedi, you negotiate with the government before the year ends and you fix your salary for the ensuing year. You enter and the purchasing power of that salary drops by 20%. You don't have any opportunity for renegotiation. Do you know what that means? If you are earning 20,000 and that 20,000 can buy you 10 bags of cement and still be able to pay your kids' school fees in January, and by June, that 20,000 cannot do the same thing. Do you know what that means? This is where we talk about the lived economy. So I'm saying that I have seen a stable economy over the period, and I'm happy. I've seen interest rates coming down, which means that as a small business person, I can go for a loan and be able to project. But if you go for a loan, young people want to get mortgage. You go and take a mortgage today and they give you variable interest rate. If it's the economy, we are guaranteed that the interest rate will remain this way. You will take a variable interest rate and you'll be afraid. But in the past, people opted for a dollar loan because the interest rate is fixed, mortgage. Because when you take the cedi exchange rate, the cedi mortgage, they give you a variable interest rate. You starting with an interest rate of 20 something, the next time it's at 30. That quantum jump alone gives you so much you have to pay. So all that I'm saying is that you ask a very serious question, whether the intervention and the cost of the intervention. I would say let's add a third, which is what Prof alluded to. The benefit of the intervention and its cost. What is the benefit? That's where I'm looking at it. There is an intervention or intermediation and it's coming at a cost. You are asking, how do we balance the two? I am saying that as an ordinary Ghanaian, my focus is on the output of that. And I am hoping that whoever is making the decision will not make a decision that will land me in trouble in future.
Okay.
And so the caution to the managers of the economy, to the economic management team, to the Bank of Ghana, and I wanted to ask Prof if this intervention is not part of the mandate of the Bank of Ghana. If it is part of the mandate that they can intervene to ensure policy stability, to ensure that we have fiscal stability, to ensure that the cedi exchange rate is stable for us to be able to plan, and they are carrying out one of their core functions, I'm comfortable.
But Prof, if this is one of the core functions, why did the government run away when the minority came on first to say, this is what you're doing? And then the thing was that there was nothing like that happening.
No. So what did the minority say then? And what was the runaway? Because see, there's something that has happened, which I've been looking for explanation. And just last week, before Parliament rose, the Honorable Finance Minister came to my committee to present something. And I asked him that he is doing a certain magic that I don't understand. And I'm sure senior economics are not able to understand what is happening. And people should be humble to ask for explanation. The magic of this gold board, whatever gold board has done to this country, whatever it is, it looks like it is good. Why am I saying it's good? Because we are getting the almost full proceeds from the sale of gold.
Okay.
And because of that, we have a lot of foreign exchange to be able to pump in.
Okay.
One of the things they taught me or explained to me is that these losses, and Prof, correct me, some of it is not what you will term cash loss, because some of them are exchange rate losses in the trade. Some of them are operational losses that are not necessarily like you bought something at 10 cedis and going to sell it at 8 cedis. That's why you've made a loss.
Okay.
No. So I am saying that the gold board is doing some magic that is building up this reserve, and being ambitious of having a 15-man cover is a good ambition.
Okay.
It should come at a good cost. Let me just land on this. Let me land on something.
One that I have said 6.
Let me just land on this. Today, we got up, all of us were concerned, and the NPA had to assure us that fuel, for instance, we have 5 weeks reserve. If whatever is happening up there, we should not be worried, because at least for 5 weeks we have enough reserve. I'll be happy as a Ghanaian to wake up and be told by the NPA that, look, even if they close Strait of Hormuz, if whatever happened, they blast wherever, for the next 3 months, I'll not have problem with fuel.
Okay.
So that is something that is happening right.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Kojo,
1 minute.
is it because he's a teacher? He speaks plenty. You see, you are saying some are forex losses and some are operational losses.
I've asked you a question.
Wait. Every loss is a loss. Don't say there's nothing like cash loss. Every loss is a loss that is sitting on Bank of Ghana's books.
But there are different losses. Ask the professor,
again,
he will tell you.
I'm happy you asked that.
The professor can tell you.
As I sit here, I'm still surprised the majority caucus have not had a press conference to talk about the losses that the gold board has incurred. Because you hurriedly came ahead of Bank of Ghana to have a press conference to deny the losses that Bank of Ghana has incurred. You see, you've given time some time, like we say on the street. Now you've been exposed. You should come back and apologize to Ghanaians.
Apologize for what?
You see, this is hypocrisy. That was the height of dishonesty on the part of the majority and NDC. You see, you've been exposed with time. Now, we are talking about the 13 billion injection. That one cannot be treated as a loss, because you are using dollars to exchange for cedis. Because when the Bank of Ghana injects a dollar into the system, they take back cedis. But for gold board, that one is a loss to the state. That 22 billion. So as we speak, by the close of this year, Bank of Ghana's net equity, I know, will not remain. I mean, already in a negative equity of 93 billion. It will be balloon. It will travel over 100 billion with these gold board losses, because initially the report that came, gold board losses was hovering around 9 billion.
Is it Bank of Ghana loss or gold board?
No, I mean the losses are supposed to be for gold board, but it's sitting in Bank of Ghana's books. That's why I'm saying it this way. Now, thanks to IMF, we've realized that the gold board losses are more than the 9 billion that we got to know recently. It's traveled over 22 billion. So Bank of Ghana's negative will be in a negative equity of over 100 billion. Now, you are saying Atto is doing some magic. Just to come to gold board for it briefly. You see, in your manifesto, I've read it cover to cover. Nowhere in your manifesto did you mention gold board. The only thing they mentioned about gold was gold for oil. They said they were going to investigate it because to them we had incurred losses. But as we speak, nothing has happened. In NPP's manifesto, during our days, we piloted the gold purchase arrangement with Bank of Ghana, and it worked. And in our manifesto, we clearly stated that we were going to expand it. Yes, you took that idea. You've decided not to credit Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but fair enough. Kojo, lastly, please, you've decided not to credit Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I've got no problem. But you see, the aggregator arrangement, you see, you know why we didn't incur losses? The aggregator, the process that you are using, we've questioned this several times and over. That is what is giving us these losses. You have to go back on it. You see, I've said it several times. The process that they are using, Kojo, it's not sustainable.
Okay.
You know why?
All right.
If you want to tame the dollar, wait. Let me land on this.
If you want
to tame the dollar,
it's fine. Let me bring it.
If you want to tame the dollar, you have to create. Make sure you expand industries like we did. That one district, one factory. You said it wasn't there.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Let me give the rest to Ivan. Ivan, come in.
I think central bank intervening in the forest market is not a novelty. It's not a creation of a BOG. It has been a century-old economic tool that is often resorted to by central banks.
That is why I asked the question. Why did they run away when the minority said they were doing that?
No. You see, I think we need to understand something. Okay. The IMF has released 182-page document.
Yes.
You understand? Mm-hmm. The media have selected a portion that they think is of interest to discuss. But I will urge everybody to take the 182-page document and read it entirely.
Is there any point they say something contrary to what?
No, you know, all the gains that we've made has been linked to has been linked to gold purchase. Okay. But the concern they raise is the fluctuations in the gold price. Okay. So the argument is that you cannot build your whole economy and premise it on gold because of the fluctuations in terms of price.
If I get one, give me 1 minute and explain things.
Let him have his time.
So if you look at some of
them, saying the entire report was negative.
It's not negative.
It isn't.
It's not negative.
Now, what is the report about?
For instance, if you look
what is the report about?
Can I make a point?
Let Ivan speak.
So let me make a point.
That's why you should give all see that time to talk. We have given all our time to talk. To expand knowledge for us.
So we had a negative. We have a negative deficit of how do you call it, 4.3, which the IMF in 2025 estimated that we're going to have about positive 5% of GDP. We ended up 2.1. And this has been attributed to the gold purchase. If you look at the current account surplus that we have, which is 7.9% of GDP, is because of the same gold purchase. So if you read the entire document, there are a lot of gains that has been attributed to gold sale. But I understand the IMF, because if you put your ass in one basket, and if there is anything, you will lose. But when it comes to the forest intervention,
exactly.
That's not a loss. That is not a lot, but out there, out there, the communications are see Bank of Ghana is a charity organization that goes out there to dash dollars.
But Kojo, just one thing. I know you take us off. But I want to let him know that the gold board and the gold plan that we have is in our manifesto, and I want to challenge him. I communicated on the manifesto.
So where? Right.
I'll open it up to you.
Thank you very much. It's not a manifesto.
We planned it. Don't get there and just talk our lies.
I'm saying it nowhere in your manifesto.
It is. I have a long manifesto on the manifesto.
Where is it?
If you give me the time, I'll
who should give you the time?
No, I'm showing to you now.
Kojo,
where is it?
Please.
Which promote responsible and sustainable mining. Which government will wage ruthless war and all of that. If you read
which page is that?
Gold board, number what? Number 6.
Which page?
Set up a novel Ghana gold board. Is it here?
I'm saying which page?
Can you see the page?
Give it to me.
The page is here. Resetting Ghana.
Don't go and take any.
So
can you confirm? Page 61. Page 61. Please, this is it.
The core job of every government.
I was a communicator on the manifesto.
As it stands now.
You see, you are standing.
Where is it?
You see, you are standing. Hold on, number 6.
Stability has been achieved.
Number 6.
That should be the focus.
I was a communicator on the manifesto.
Number 6 where?
He asked. Hold on, guys.
It's there.
Adeti
I can't find it.
BOG. Is it part of the time? It's BOG. No, we have. Hold on. It's BOG.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Clearly. On page.
I have to get it. I'll get a full document and then.
Page 61.
It's part of BOG.
Now, how do I know?
I'm responding to your question.
Yes.
Is BOG? Is it part
of
you
have the manifesto?
No, I'm confirmed.
To enter or to do intervention.
Open it.
I will say, just as he's a doctor, at what point do you administer a medication to a patient? It's when a person you have then diagnosed.
Yes.
You found the so medical for yes you are allowed to administer. BOG they allow to do that.
Good.
Under which conditions, circumstances?
Good.
Listen,
this is the kind of doing our so. The condition might have been met yet.
Yes. Thank you very much. Huge market. The greatest mark of respect the government could have paid to the 8 gallant citizens who lost their lives in the line of duty in the fight against illegal mining would have been to decisively eradicate Galamsey within a year of their deaths. Regrettably, the menace has instead become more pervasive. The turbidity levels of our water bodies have significantly deteriorated. Further, the persistent arrest of government critics and the weaponization of bail conditions suggest an encroachment upon the constitutional rights to free speech. Our stance is fortified by the report of the Media Foundation for West Africa. Amazing convictions. Mancha Bruce II brought this one in. Nana Ekwama Boateng says, first of all, very good morning to Prof. Azibodi. I always enjoy listening to him. I completely disagree with Professor Titus Bayo. The government could not have stopped yesterday's demonstration. If the government has its program, could not have prevented others from embarking on their lawful activities. Greetings to Albert Kreku. He says greetings to Dr. Baumia, incoming president 2028. Professor Titus Bayo is MP for Lambusie and also board chair of Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Professor Zigbodi is Executive Director, Institute for Economic Research and Policy, and also the Dean of the Faculty of Accounting and Finance, UPSA. Maxwell Ofosubuache is former Municipal Chief Executive, Swami Municipal Assembly, and Ivan Che, innocent. Is he innocent? Really? Political health policy analyst and youth activist. We'll He's very innocent. AM News Review is sponsored by Syntex Pipes, Pegasus Publishing, and Awake Purified Drinking Water. We'll take a break here. We will be back with more. Please do stay.
Discover Willow Lane in Sakumono, one of Ghana's most prime community. These expertly designed 4-bedroom homes feature a private elevator, 4 ensuite bedrooms, private balconies, walk-in closets, and a gourmet kitchen and a maid's quarters. Perfect for families, executives, investors, and retirees. Our community offers a swimming pool, playground, and 3-tier security for your peace of mind. Experience the ultimate in comfort, convenience, and community here at Willow Lane, Sakumon. Visit waylead.org or call 0240-111119 or 0308-040500 to book your tour today. Waylead, your trusted home builder.
The play was amazing. I loved it. Oh my God, the play was nice. I laughed the whole time through. We did. I love the set. It had that wow factor when it first came down. Absolutely. It was so funny. It was amazing.
I laughed a lot. You can see tears dropping from my eyes.
There was a lot of drama. A lot. Like, I mean, diva level drama.
I really enjoyed it. I would like to come and watch it tomorrow again.
I think everyone should see it.
Guyana's Pound of Flesh. Live at the National Theatre, Saturday 8th and Sunday 9th August at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Grab a ticket now to the most hilarious theatrical masterpiece of the year for only 200 Ghana cedis at imagebureaugh.com or dial star 714 star 46 hash.
Hey! What nonsense is this? Stop it before I lose the little temper I have left in me. Your friend, your father, you're going now. You are. Yeah, I need to
actually, come on. You know, I can't walk as you do, and I'm chiefable. But you're not really a couple. Man, yeah, pay more.
In pain. Your friend, you're buying. But
that's right. Did you see that? That is me. Without me, that tap would just be decoration. That's so.
So when the water comes, where exactly is it waiting? Pipe. I also didn't see any bedroom no. Me tank. Me na me kura.
At least I move water.
And I keep it safe.
Without me, nothing flows.
What's happening?
I bring the life.
I preserve it.
Hey, why is the water going on and off like this? Maybe I can do it alone.
Maybe I need you too.
Strong, reliable, built for every home.
Syntex pipes and tanks, the perfect
water team. Syntex, are you strong? Are you tough?
In the heart of Africa, a vibrant wave of innovation is building, with Ghana at the forefront. Here, AI fuels our journey. The Pan-African AI Summit returns to Ghana, igniting a flame of creativity and vision. It's a place where we shape tomorrow, with technology responding to the critical local challenges we face on the continent. Participate in the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit 2026 and become a change maker in your community. Let's create solutions that touch every individual's life. Visit www.panafricanAIsummit.com for more information.
Much for staying with us. Let's now talk about the Pan-African AI Summit. You've heard it before. I like talking about it, but it's worth talking and talking and talking about it again. And so this morning, we're joined via Zoom by Professor Jerry John Ponyo. He is Director, Office of Grants and Research at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi. You know that school. And I've also got Nana Dako Esiedu, his Regional Director, ALX Africa. Thank you so much, Nana, for joining us. I've also got Paulette Watson. I'm excited to say that she's a member of the British Empire, and founder, Academy Achievers, AI leadership strategist as well. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us in studio.
Welcome.
Pleasure. Okay, but for leaders or for people who are so keen on academic research and also shaping the lives of young people, I'm quite interested in why you thought to add your voice and pay attention to this particular summit. Let me start with you, Paulette.
So it's really important that, we as women especially have a voice, because there's a lack of representation, and having a voice, being able to share my personal lived experience, sharing about my journey, and then also being a role model for young women and girls and young people. So being a leader in AI, talking about governance and responsible AI is really important, so that other women can see that they too can take up this responsibility. Sure. So the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit it's important because, like I said, because of the lack of voices as women, not feeling confident, not having that self-esteem to be able to share and talk about it. As you can see, there's not many of us.
Yeah.
So it's really important that our voices are heard, and I'm so proud to be part of that.
I was quite fascinated when I saw that you're an AI leadership strategist. I was very fascinated. But Nana, it will be the same question for you as well, why you thought you should be part of this.
So I work with an organization that we bring unique perspective to the AI conversation, because we work with thousands of young people who are interested in building their AI skills. ALX is a career accelerator organization. We focus on working with youth and organizations, helping them to build their digital skills.
Okay.
We first launched by helping the youth. So far, since we launched, we've helped more than 100,000 young Ghanaians to build digital skills that helps their employability.
Okay.
And the way we address employability is not just for them to find local opportunities, but we're also opening the doors for them to see global opportunities as well. The second part, which gives us that unique perspective, is also because we work with organizations, helping them to upskill their staff and also to help them adopt AI.
Okay.
So we see the challenges of the organizations who are trying to adopt AI, and then we see the skills or the opportunities that the young people have. So we are able to connect these two ecosystems, the young people who are ready for job opportunities, and then the organizations who also need these AI skills to be able to improve their productivity.
Okay.
So it's very relevant that ALX is part of this conversation when it comes to AI adoption, AI enhancement in the country.
Okay, I'll go to Prof. When I come back to you, I'm interested in the gap, or maybe particularly because it's ALX that's participating, I'm interested in how these young people that you intend to help will benefit from why ALX will be part of this participation. I'll come to you in terms of the institutions that are still struggling to, accept AI as a strategy that can help them. But let me go to Prof and also get some answers on why, for his position and where he is, why he thought it's important to be part of this AI conversation, Prof.
Thank you very much, and a very good morning from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. So from where I sit, I am drawing from the UN high-level panel on AI that the Secretary General set up, and what the key enablers are as far as AI is concerned. One of them that was clearly outlined is the need for talent. The same applies to the continental AI strategy, and same applies to our national AI strategy, which was launched on the 24th of April, not long ago. And so if we really want to take AI seriously, it is important that we are intentional about building capacity as far as talent is concerned. From where I sit in academia and having worked with a lot of young people, it is a shared responsibility when it comes to building the right capacity as far as AI is concerned. And so creating a platform where academia, industry, the private sector, and key policy actors are working together to build the needed capacity is the place to be.
Okay.
And so the Pan-African AI Summit provides that opportunity for all these key actors to sit around the table and support in building the needed capacity as far as the youth of the continent is concerned. And that is the reason why I think it is important that we add our voices to this. Thank you very much.
Oh, Prof, that's quite clear. I'm going to go around the table, and when I come back to you, I mean, we've seen a lot of these summits happen in this country, but for you and the area that you said, it's important to know whether this particular one would bring to bear some form of blueprint that the government can adopt in terms of policy, at least for the sustainability of all of these summits that happen. When I come to you, I get some answers. But let me come to you, Paulette. Not just businesses, but business executives are quite intimidated by AI. I can confirm this. Maybe if they hear from you, they will believe it. How can they how can they stay away from the intimidation and face the reality, because AI is here with us now?
I think really it's kind of a mindset shift, yeah? And AI is not a technology. It's about people, strategy, and business. And leaders and institutions need to really think about what is the business problem. And how are we going to solve it, as opposed to what AI tools are we going to get from Europe? And when we think about PwC, they are going to contribute, they estimate that AI is going to contribute 15.7 trillion to the AI global community. This is really, really, really big. And so leaders really need to be able to ask those questions and feel almost challenged that actually we have to ensure that we have the correct skill set, the mindset, being able to think how are we going to navigate for this strategically. And that's why with the Pan-African AI Innovation Summit, we are going to be able to see partnerships, we're going to be able to share knowledge, we're going to be able to collaborate, and that's where business will be able to adopt AI responsibly and ethically.
I mean, adopt it responsibly. I like how you put it. But Nana, so you, for what you do for young people, I mean, not just in Ghana, but globally, how would they benefit from you being part of this innovation?
Yeah, but just before, if I can just touch on...
By all means.
The World Bank has now described AI not just as a tool or technology, it sees it as an economic value to organizations. The same way you could consider staff, raw materials as tools or elements that are relevant to organizations. It's the same way the World Bank has seen the value of AI. So leaders that are shying away from this AI conversation, it tells you that you are shying away from something very significant. If you're in production and you need electricity, and you say you don't want to use electricity anymore, it's the same way the AI conversation goes. It's now an economic tool that organizations need to adopt. The ones that have adopted it now are seeing the value of it. So the delay is just a disadvantage to organizations that don't see the value of it. We understand the fear, and that is why we're having this conference. This conference brings out conversations, insights from business leaders and government policy makers, key stakeholders, that are going to really explain why it's important to be part of this discussion. Just wanted to touch on that. But to your question, for young people, why it's important to be part of this Pan-African AI Summit, it's because the summit is going to be a gathering of so many key stakeholders. Young people, what I can tell you, are looking for, one of the first things is jobs. At this conference, we're going to have employers. We're going to have HR professionals who will be telling young people what they're looking out for. The narrative about looking for jobs was a lot based on having a degree. Then it moved to having a master's. Now employers have moved beyond that. But do you know what employers are looking for? We, working with employers, know that they are looking for digital skills that can enhance your productivity. Because employers are looking for problem solvers. They're not looking for people to fill the seat. So at this conference, we'll be having all these policymakers in there. We'll be having all the experts in there. And if you miss out on this opportunity, it's like, missing out on value that you could have gotten. Because it's a gathering of all these stakeholders. We'll mention the people who would be on the platform towards the end. But young people, and just one advice for young people who have registered to attend this conference is not to be passive when they attend, because sometimes the hurry is take few pictures, post on LinkedIn. I always encourage, be present, write what exactly are the key actions that you're taking out of this, and that's how you find value from this Pan-African Summit.
Sure, so can I just also add, with the summit, is thinking about soft skills as well. We don't want to just focus mainly on technical skills. Soft skills, like you said, critical thinking, problem solving, being able to communicate, being a leader, a team player. And when they come to this summit, young people, leaders, will be able to see that collaboration, partnership is the key in order to scale and to scale responsibly. So this Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit is so important because we get to come together with all the different leaders, like you said, HR, policy makers, researchers, and it's going to be a grand summit, where people can connect and they can look at doing projects from grassroots, because most of the time people will fund, VCs will fund, but not really, they don't fully understand the grassroots issues that women especially are experiencing. And being able to have a voice and contribute to the discussion, I feel, is so relevant for today's
When all of this is done at the summit, imagine that it doesn't get any blueprint or it doesn't become a national policy or government is not interested in the findings or the discussion that will happen. Prof, I really just wonder, but how are we turning all of these conversations to a much bigger national conversation or to get the government to be interested, Prof?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I am excited at the conversation that is ongoing at the studio. And the reality is that this is coming at the heels of Ghana having launched our national AI strategy, as I mentioned, on the 24th of April. And among the 8 key pillars that we have for the strategy, one of the pillars is coordinating a robust, AI ecosystem or an AI community in the country. And from where I sit, I see the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit as a very fine opportunity for key actors to come together. A strategy is one thing, but what gives life to the strategy are the implementation actions that we actually want to take following the strategy.
Okay.
And so a platform like the summit will create an avenue where we can look at the strategy, look at key actions that each and every actor in the ecosystem will have to take so that we can give life to the strategy. Okay. And so following that, the likelihood is that at the end of the summit, we can have a blueprint that we can work with the sector ministry and key actors to ensure that we are benefiting fully from AI as far as our unique context is concerned.
Prof, when I come back to you, we'll talk about the theme. You want to break down the theme for me, simplify it. I'm a very simple brain, and I see the theme, I read it, behind, turn around, I'm saying, okay, this is big English. I'm told you can break it down for me to understand. But back here, Nana, so what happens when all of these young people you're encouraging to be parts, they come, they learn a thing, they engage, they network, but the ecosystem that they're going to find themselves in, it's not. The survival rate is low. Yeah. People are likely to want to travel out of the country. We talk about brain drain all the time. After all is said and done, how can I survive in the ecosystem?
I'd like to reframe the question or the statement around brain drain, right? Thinking that we should not stop young people from traveling.
Okay.
We should actually encourage it, because there's an advantage to traveling and getting the exposure.
Okay.
What we should rather focus on is how do we make the ecosystem so fertile that when they travel, they see the opportunity to come back. Because truth is, in some countries, they are more AI advanced or in terms of equipping people with digital skills than we are. So at this point, we shouldn't stop people from traveling, gaining that skill, but rather make the ecosystem so rich that when they go, they find opportunity to come back and use that knowledge and insights to come back to solve the problems. Because we have more problems than some of the countries that they are going to. So the opportunity to make an impact is greater for us. And young people, business people want where there is impact and there's more funding. So if that is the narrative that, go and get the skills while we are building ours, but the opportunity is that we're bringing you back or we're giving you the opportunity to come back and continue to build, that encourages the young people to look for opportunities globally, but also return locally.
I think this is a good place to be because they're open to the two options, yeah? Politis, you want to add something?
Yeah, that question really resonates with me. I lead the Be Me Digital Inclusion to raise 1 million African women and girls in STEM and AI careers, and I get first-hand experience of working with these young women. And, the question of the brain drain and them wanting to leave to go to another country. And I'm always saying, no, don't. Stay here and build Ghana, your local economy. Why don't you work remotely? And because I've been able to share my experience living abroad, because there are challenges, and I don't think our young people would be equipped for those type of challenges. I'm not saying that they're not robust enough, but to go and trying to navigate a new system and dealing with, discrimination, racism, when they can be here in Ghana, work remotely, get paid up to 25,000 Ghanaian cedis and live like a queen that they are.
Yeah.
Why would they want to leave Ghana when Ghana has so much to offer them? So I do empower them. We have, with the Be Me program, we have our monthly webinars where we get different global leaders. Right now, we're doing the virtual work experience right now as we speak.
Okay.
And our amazing women, and a lot of the men are coming now because they said this is not just for women, we want to be a part of it. And they are having global leaders from across the globe talking to them and talking about the impact of the AI disruption. What does that mean? And these young women are being able to talk to these leaders and be able to say, well, actually, this is what we want to do. This is what's happening at grassroots, and this is how we want to make changes. And they're currently doing an ethical AI project. And I've told them that they have to come to the Pan-African AI Summit, so Innovation Summit, so that they can contribute to the conversation. So when you talk about brain drain, it just resonated with me.
I've got so many questions. I just want to take the theme from Prof first, and then Prof.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you return. Please break down the theme for me quickly. What's the theme this year? I can actually just say it quickly: scaling Africa's ethical AI and innovation ecosystem. That's correct. Please, what does it mean?
Okay, so
especially to me as a Ghanaian and African.
What does it mean to you? So. We are having conversations around AI, but I'm glad that all through the conversation, we are not just looking at AI in its generic sense, but we are looking at responsible AI, we are looking at ethical AI, we are looking at a people-centered AI. This is the era for Africa.
Yes.
The median age for Africa is 19. We are the youthful population. And it is important that we take advantage by building the necessary capacity to be able to respond to the workforce as far as the AI revolution is concerned.
Okay.
And so a summit like this creates an opportunity first to assemble the youthful population, bring together industry, bring together the private sector, bring together key actors within the space to be able to energize that youthful population that we have with reference to responsible and ethical AI. We are doing so through collaboration, we are doing so through partnership, we are doing so through policy actions, so that in future we can look back at having participated in the summit and say that indeed we were part when we set this in motion.
Prof,
so basically,
amazing.
in summary, that is what we are looking at.
You're a professor indeed. Thank you so much for breaking it down. And I'm certain that on the day we'll hear more from you. And maybe we'll have another conversation before the event day. But I'm actually pressed for time. I'm just going to give you 30 seconds. I apologize, to take your final words.
I just think that the Pan-AI African Summit, AI and Innovation Summit, is going to be an opportunity, like I said, to share our voices, to be able to connect and really talk about the impact, what's going to happen with AI. So having the researchers, HR, and having for women to have access to this is going to be a game changer. So thank you.
I look forward to that, Paulette. Nana, please.
I would like to add that some of these summits, conferences on AI are paid for. So it limits the access to everyone to have this, to benefit from this conversation and this insight. The Pan-African AI Summit is free.
Yep.
It's highly encouraged for the youth to be there. So go online, register, because the value of having all these key stakeholders at one event. Normally you'd have them speaking on different platforms, different forums.
And you pay.
And then you have to pay for it. But this time you're having the gathering of all of them, locally, globally. So it's a very rich platform to get this access for free. So I'd encourage everyone to sign up for it.
All of you just made my work very easy. Thank you so much. Paulette Watson is founder, Academy Achievers, AI Leadership Strategies, and she's also just been telling you about the Be Me project. Another time we'll go more into that. And then I've also had Nana Akosua. He is Regional Director, ALX Africa. Earlier we had Professor Jerry John Kojo, his Director, Office of Grants and Research at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I'm certain we'll have another conversation before September. Thank you so much for coming. Well, yeah, I'm excited. Well, E-Corner with Noella, I know. She's got a surprise for you, so please stay.
Wanu buada kafi o wa totro o adoyia aja gomacho afisinala. Balala na mama dina sesi esia yo ano agbe le tono fafa yi yo ma amadaka mala nkulam da anu o
Good Conduct Great Life is brought to you by Indomie. Tastes great.
More Kivo inside. Kivo Gari Soaking Mix. A taste of Ghana.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. The silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA.
Missed passes, bad results. Don't let your child's grades suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10-175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
In Biggie's house, there's no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Nigeria Season 11. Everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale. Because nothing is given. But everything is for the taking when the world watches. Will you be outshined, or will you step up and take the spotlight? Big Brother Nigeria Season 11, showing 24/7 on DSTV Channel 198 and GoTV Channel 49. Headline sponsor, Bet Power.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you look fresh. Oh.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead, buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Lausanne Workplace Forum 2026. Africa is rising.
A generation is taking faith and work strategy to the zenith. This August, Africa gathers in Ghana for the Lausanne Workplace Forum 2026, a landmark convocation of Christian professionals, entrepreneurs, executives, innovators, educators, ministry leaders, and emerging influencers from across Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. From August 6th to 9th at the Pentecost Convention Center, Gomuafete. Ignite your genius with renowned global leaders, including Apostle Eric Nyamiche, Dr. Joshua Bogun Joko, Femi Adeleye, Dr. Delphine Fanfon, Samson Adungbe, Abla Masope, and many more. Discover how to turn your profession into mission, your business into ministry, and your leadership into lasting kingdom impact. This is more than a conference. It is a leadership summit, a global movement, a gathering of marketplace reformers. To register, visit www.lwfamghana.org or call +233 558 332 513. This message is brought to you with the generous support of Ghana's leading media partners, including Multimedia Group, Media General, GBC, Bent Media, City FM, Channel 1 TV, BCG Media, Sunny FM, Sweet Melodies FM, and other valued partners. Lausanne Workplace Forum 2026, Africa, Middle East, and beyond, where faith meets work, transforming people and nations.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, forever. Oh no 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 no. Baby, this your body, too fine. Now you go finally chop on my money. Me I no mind though. See her face, I'm way too fat. She dey make me want grace till I lose sense. See her waist, I'm a figure eight. See her body, she's sexy too much. See her skin, it dey glow for night. Everything she carry, it dey alright. I'm on the level, I'm on the body. I'm on you be ginger, it dey make me mad. I'm on your body the fire, can't look away, yeah. Can't look away. Your body the fire, can't look away. The way you are, I'm on your body the fire, can't look away. Left and right, can't look away. Day and night,
Can't look away.
yeah, you be dangerous.
Hey, I can't look away. Hey. Anywho, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Well, the song you just, enjoyed is Peter of the defunct P Square. His new release is called I Can't Look Away. This song is trending on social media. And like the Nigerians would say, you get why, right? There's a reason behind that. And I'm going to share all those details with you. But yeah, rightly so, like Emefa Adeti told you guys, I have a surprise for you. That's right. I'm not going to be, spilling all the tea to you alone. I have a very special guest. Well, she's not going to be a guest. She's going to be a regular on the show from today onwards, like every Friday. Anytime you see me, you're going to see me with her. She's called Irene. Most of you know her on Prime. She hosts the showbiz segment. Anytime, Becky's not around, you see a beautiful lady called Irene. Yeah, Irene is on E-Corner now. Let's welcome Irene.
Thank you.
Irene, you're welcome. This is literally your home now, right? And I'm excited. I mean, I've carried our viewers through for more than a year. I'm excited to finally have you on board so that, you know, together we can give them more ginger, more, you know, gist and tea. So yeah, we're going to be doing E-Corner with Irene, and we have to start on a high note, don't we? Yeah. So we're going to start with Party in the Park, right? Because Party in the Park has been trending throughout the week. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers wonder why. Well, some of you who are, you know, social media savvy, obviously you know what's going on. But I remember a few weeks ago, I brought our viewers, you know, news about Shatta Wale traveling to the UK. I mean, it was the first time he was using a private jet based off of what he has showed us on social media. So we're all excited. I mean, he made it exciting, you know, because he took videos, he went there with his team, he took videos and whatnot. And then we realized that he had meetings with certain individuals in the UK, came back and said he was going to host Shatterfest UK edition. And obviously it was going to, you know, ride on the success of Shatterfest Ghana, which was like that birthday, you know, concert he put together here in Ghana. It was a historic one. It broke records and whatnot. So obviously the fans, I guess, in the diaspora were asking for, you know, that experience. And so initially, I don't know about you, Irene, initially, I don't know what you thought about it, but I felt like this was going to be an event that was going to be organized by Shatta himself and his team. But, you know, we now found out that apparently it was a Ghana Party in the Park organized, you know, event. And it's interesting because what I got was that Alodia and Dennis, who is the owner of the Akwaba UK group, was going to be like a promoter for Shatta's event. And then it turned out that apparently they were having a show, but Shatta was just going to be headlining it. As to why they decided to call it Shatterfest, I'm guessing that probably they had a meeting and agreed that, you know what, let's ride off of Shatterfest's Ghana, the Ghana edition success, and just call it that. And so it happened. We were all on social media. We were all enjoying Shatterfest, you know, performances and whatnot. And then boom. Actually, let's take a look at some of the you know, performances that went on. All right, so those are some of the performances that happened. Saw it. DWP with Wendy Sheba. What happened after?
Then obviously we were both watching, looking out for the next performance and then the next performance. And then we just saw that there's a stampede. I mean, obviously when I heard about it, I was shocked because how did it happen? Actually, even before the stampede, you remember that we saw snippets of videos of the UK security, you know, telling people that, you know what, the show has been cancelled because of security reasons. And we're all surprised because, and I'll tell you why I was surprised. So Ghana Party in the Park has been going on for 21 years, okay? It's organized by Akwaba UK, owned by Dennis, and it's more or less like a cultural themed event for the African diaspora in the UK. And so each year they have like a headline artist, you know, headline the event, and then they're supported by some other artists. I know that in 2021, Sarkodie headlined it. I think the year after, King Promise, after winning the TGMA's Artist of the Year, also, you know, headlined it. And then last year, it was headlined by how many people? 3 people. Yeah, Kweku Smoke, Wendy Shea, King Paluta. And then this year, it was going to be Shatta Wale. And like I said, because it's a cultural event, obviously, just like Afrochella, now, is it Afrochella? Yeah, it was Afro, just like Afrochella.
they would cook, they would, you know, people would sell food, people would sell the Ghanaian culture.
There'll be kids too.
Exactly. So I was surprised when they said, but anyway, maybe we're jumping the story. Are we not?
Yeah.
I think we are jumping the story.
The stampede
happened. The stampede happened, and obviously they had to release a statement. Tell us about those things.
So after the stampede, we saw a lot of people trying to come out. People were pushing. I think one person was a victim where we saw the police attending to it. But even before the police, there were people around him trying to help keep the situation until the police arrived. They took care of him, and then it was out on Akwa UK. They just told us that unfortunately, due to the incidents, due to the safety, obviously it's not just for the performers, but when you realize that the people's safety is at risk, you don't have to even go ahead with it because you are not coming to entertain me for me to end up in the hospital. So that happened, and then they explained the situation that it's been cancelled. And so after the release, then we saw Shatta Movement also release a press statement.
And the Shatta First UK.
And then also telling us that they are sorry. We knew that the fans are expecting us to perform, but blah, 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 because of safety. They also stated safety, and so it has been cancelled. So for me, I expected it to end there because there's a press statement. Obviously, we've seen the videos, the stampede. We all saw the situation, the fire, and all of that. And then Shatta has to do a video.
Of course he has to. He has to come alive and explain to his fans.
And he said something different. Yeah, he obviously put a blame on the organizers, and I wasn't expecting that because from where I sit, I feel like that is the job of the PRO, to address the audience. So why should you, the artists, now come out? And even it wasn't fair putting the blame on the organizers. Like you said, this has been going on for like
throwing them under the bus.
And then all of a sudden you want it to look like they are not, they don't really know what they are about. The organization went wrong. And then he said that he told them, he even told them that he's a high security risk. He needs his team. Okay, so when they didn't agree, why did you still go ahead? Because they didn't agree with your condition, but you went ahead.
Irene is on fire. You know what? Let's listen to what Shatta had to say.
How you go fit do show? Where I go tell you from Ghana. Say, bro, bring my team. I have my road manager, Mawina, she's there. Bunko is there. Joed is there. Solash, my security team, everything. Bro, when we even do show for Ghana, we they tire, but we they succeed. If you white people, where they do the event, you know, the Ghana person where he set up the stage, and if you white people, and these white people were constantly calling my management to tell them that, no. And see, what a white man, a God bless white man. God bless white man. These people were telling Akwa UK and my team that the artist way to bring them, it be high security risk type of artist. So make sure say we put everything in place proper for this person. That's why as my team no come, you see the way things go. The agreements may you have, you know already. You make people, the McPickins come say that they can't party in the park. We want you shut up and cover him. Tell them I do something to fight Kelly and Papa. If they come for my show, chop fufu, banku, make heavy. Shut up and I go fi bring gas cooker come there, bro. Who told you I want chop Kelly with it? So we found fufu Anna.
Oh my God. Shatta, he's such a character. But look, I think he had genuine concerns, but I agree with you that he shouldn't have thrown, you know, the organizers under the bus. I think we need clarity on really what the show, who was organizing what, who was on board, like what was the agreement? Because in one breath, Shatta says it's Shatta Fest UK, organized by his team made up of white people in the UK. In another breath, Ghana Party in the Park, they're saying it's their show. It's the show that you know all the time, but we agreed with Shatta. And it's instructive to note that the Ghana Party in the Park franchise, for a long time, they have been trying to get Shatta on board to perform. They tried, I think last year, last 2 years, they did not succeed because apparently some people in Shatta's team could not get UK visas. So I'm guessing that this time they did, and you know, he had to give them a show. And so, yeah, that clarity we needed. And of course, again, a lot of people are saying that the show ended because, or was cancelled because a gas cylinder exploded. And Alodia, who is a promoter, also the CEO of the Ghana Music Awards UK, came out to, dispel that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people also had because Shatta said, how can you come and, fry pawpaw and fry watermelons and whatnot, right? On my show, like I said, if really it's a Ghana Party in the Park themed event, this is no surprise, okay? Because it's like a cultural event which is promoting Ghanaian culture. So the pounding of fufu, the cooking and whatnot, selling kelewele, frying kelewele is very normal. They're all elements of our culture. But yeah, let's listen to Alodia dismiss rumors that the show was cancelled because of that cylinder explosion.
Measures was put in place. Ajima, sorry, I'm giving you life. That's what life is. Listen, it's life. That's why they call accident a see. Nobody is blaming anybody. Say I see. Bibi never ain't na wenu ba no sa. But say who catch them say cancel Ajima. Who the cancel trust now be event. You will be surprised.
So for our non-Tree speaking audience, pardon us, so that was Alodia basically talking about the fact that, look, accidents do happen. Proper measures were put in place, proper security measures were put in place for the safety of, their patrons, but accidents do happen, and the cylinder explosion was one of those accidents. Yeah, right. Basically. So yeah, I guess that wraps up.
He blasted Sammy Flex.
Tell us about it, please. Tell us.
I think with this incident, everybody had their own share.
Right.
Shatta Wale gave it to everybody, including Sammy Flex.
Yeah. His own manager. Or now his communications, because he demoted him. Yeah, go ahead.
And all is because he saw a video was circulating where Sammy Flex was walking on the streets of London. So someone was actually shouting, hey, Oma cancel show, no, they've cancelled the show.
He wasn't aware.
And he wasn't aware. Yeah. So I think when he saw that, he came out to say that it's because the organizers got a visa for him.
And that's the video on your screen,
that's the video. He got a visa for him. So he's not able to talk to the organizers to tell them that they did wrong. And he gave him his own share saying that it is him, Shatta Flex, who goes out and bring the deal. And Sammy Flex hasn't done anything. Yeah. And Sammy Flex responded with some Facebook comments.
Right.
He said, Chairman, Wechiguo. Wechiguo is a Shatta Wale.
It's like a term now that's trending, Wechiguo.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he also posted that they sold some, the gold bar, they did some sales at the Shatta Flex, sold out. So what is Shatta Wale talking about? Him not generating anything for him. And I believe like these people, they
understand themselves.
Yeah,
they understand themselves. I mean, I saw a video of also Shatta Wale talking about the fact that of all the people that have managed him, he believes that Sammy Flex is, different. He gets him. He allows him be in his element, knowing that it's not personal. It's just good for the business. Anyway, let's move away from that. And because time is is against us right now. Yeah. Let's jump and talk about P Square.
Okay.
Yeah, P Square. Because P Square, they have been trending. Yeah. Particularly Peter, which is like one half of the twin group. So that I think in 2017, I was a big fan of okay. I've always been, I loved your music. I don't know about you. And so in 2017, when they first split it, I was saddened. But they split up due to some structural managerial issues that has to do with their elder brother called Jude Okoye, who is their manager. So apparently, for a man, now we understand that in the agreement as a unit, Jude, who is a manager, takes 40% of their returns from their music, and each of the twins take 30%, which is, I don't know what kind of, I don't know how they agreed to that, because that is really, really unfair. And also talked about, his managerial skills, where he isn't able to differentiate between family and business. So it's like I'm your elder brother, and he takes that elder brother seniority thing into business. And obviously, they're both, grown-ups. Egos are going to clash and whatnot. And so in 2017, they split up. Then somewhere in 2021, we saw a video circulating on social media of the apparent reunion. I was excited. Let's take a look at that video.
You crazy. Nigga, you alright. Dismiss. Dismiss.
So Irene, they reunited,
I know.
And then promised us new music. Both of them had squashed their individual brands. They were coming together as P Square again. We were excited, but apparently the structural managerial issues that caused their split in 2017, it wasn't solved.
Yes.
And so even when they reunited, because they did not take care of that aspect of, their group or their whatever, their brand, it caused another split in 2020, is it 4?
24.
Yeah, 2024. Unfortunately. Then this week, boom. We all slept, then boom, like you say. We saw Peter come out with 9 episodes.
Like a TV series.
Talking about deeply rooted issues that actually caused the wranglings. Look, it's lengthy. If we say we're going to tell our viewers all about it, we won't finish today. All right, we'll eat into Mami's time. But basically, the major themes of his expose is of family, is of trust, is of betrayal, is of disrespect and stealing. Because apparently, Peter found out that aside the 40%, 30% split decision agreements they had gone into, he was actively stealing from, he had, created another account
the not side music.
Not side music, and was siphoning or directing, misdirecting the funds from their, their main account into his account that amounted to more than $1 million.
Yeah, and Paul even knew. That was the shocking.
That's the highest form of betrayal.
That's why it looks like the Bible characters. You know, Peter, and Paul, and Jude. They're all in the Bible. And if you check the disciples, if you check out the disciples, you realize that Jude, like Judas, betrayed the team. And then in the Bible, Judas was also the treasurer. And this time around, Jude is also the treasurer. So it looks like they are all thinking alike. Around. Jude was also having them until the betrayal.
Right.
But that wasn't fair.
It wasn't. And for me,
get up and all of that.
For me, for years, we had heard that the problem behind the brothers not agreeing and whatnot is Peter's wife, Lola, I've forgotten her name. Lola. And so for a long time, a lot of people abused her. They thought, and there's a reason for that, because she is 9 years older than the twins. And actually even older than Jude. And so from his expose, I think I have come to that conclusion that indeed, I think it's a thing about the age, that why is this old woman, chasing our brother, married to our brother, and the fear of perhaps her manipulating the brother in terms of business and whatnot. And of course, also because Lola comes from a very business-oriented family. And so I'm thinking it's that manipulation, fears from Jude, but it takes one manipulator to see another manipulator, right? And from what we have seen so far, they say you have to hear both sides of the story. But from what I have seen in terms of evidence shown by Peter and what I have heard, it's terrible.
It's a no.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a very juicy story. You should check it out on social media. You go on Peter's page on Instagram. All the 9 parts are there live. And can I say that Peter is actually a brilliant guy, very strategic, because he released I Can't Look Away. And then he started, voicing out, and his song is trending. Like I said, it's trending. A lot of people are using it for their pictures on Instagram. I listened.
I forgot the 99%.
Oh, tell me about it.
So the 99%, Paul is saying that he handles most of the work.
Right, and that the dancing is irrelevant.
I'm even sure that 1% is for Jude.
Can you imagine? Look, this story is juicy. There's a lot we can tell you about it, but unfortunately, time is not our best friend. Maybe we should talk to our producer so he gives us more time. Because now that we're going to give you guys a lot of content. But yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this debut pairing.
Irene.
This is the only time I wish I was called Jane, so that Irene and Jane. But unfortunately, my name is Noella Karen Yali, and I did this with the beautiful
Irene.
Obviously, she's going to be here next week as well with myself. But now let's cross over to the Give Thyself Holy Conference happening at the First Life Center in Accra.